Good evening, one and all. It's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. It's time for us to be jumping in once more to some good old Warframe. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. And my arsenal is lagging. Come on. There we are. There we go. I see also very fortunate news. The Wukong Blast build we had just tested days ago. Yeah. That one has gone. I mean, the Wukong's not entirely gone, but the blast bit has been blasted back into obsolescence. We don't need to worry about it anymore. Blast is just pointless once again. And all is restored in the world. Hello, 10JAN23 fixed the bug with the Topaz Zarko charts on the secondary crit chance on heat procs. Have you seen a patch note about it, Zarko? Otherwise, no, is the question. Because there have been multiple bugs with relation to that, multiple undisclosed and disclosed bits. Who's to say exactly what's going on there? You're on about the increased secondary critical chance by 1% every time you kill an enemy affected by heat damage. Which is interesting in itself. If you kill an enemy using heat damage? An enemy that has taken heat damage at any point in their life? Yeah, the phrasing on these shards and the actual implementation of them is frankly abysmal. It is all over the shop. It is, dare I say it, the worst bit of the entire Whispers of the Wall update, which is kind of a shame, really. It didn't need to ship with Whispers in the Wall if they were still in the process of, actually figuring out what the shards do. Which is not great. A Wukong build only popped off for one stream. At least it popped off for one stream. We got it for a moment. And I've still got a good one on its way for you, so you can look forward to the video on that coming later this week. It would have been sooner, but then D went and changed the game, didn't they? So it's fine. I'll just give you a different guide. Subtly different, but importantly different. Is the worst wording in all of Warframe? No, that goes to the mod Galvanized Aptitude and its companions. That one is by far the worst in the game, because it appears to be so simple, and yet it is so utterly not. Yeah, that one's the worst, 100%. IG Sneaky said, got a question on DeVry. There are statues you approach that glow gold. They are all over the map. Does that do anything? Is there any secret? Statues that glow gold? See, I know of statues of Thrax, of Dominus Thrax, or busts and anything else that you can have pointing in certain directions. You can turn them around. But glow gold? Now you're throwing me. When you approach, they light up, turn gold, like they are like made of stone. You might just be on about the martyrliths. You really might just be on about the martyrliths. Hello, can we load, please? Hello? Hello, Warframe. Warframe, hello, what's going on? Warframe, create session. Warframe, hello. Warframe. Thank you. Okay, that was a bit weird. Right, let me just run into DeVry Experience Solo. I think I know what you're on about at this point, Sneaky, but let me just head to one and see if we are correct on that. Let's just throw ourselves in here real quickly, because this is really easy to cover. I hope. And if not, then we're all learning something, aren't we? Oh, hello. Hello. I'd like to go through, please. And thank you.
The Prince of Fire.
Okay, so...
Lodin of Duviri was nicknamed the Prince of Fire. A mocking title.
This. Is this the thing you mean, right here?
Least of all, himself.
These things when you approach. Yes, okay, so this is a martyrlith. It is basically a teleport point once you unlock it, and otherwise it's just a navigation station, I guess. I think in original design of DeVry, they were going to be like save points, but that doesn't really exist now, so... Does it heal you? Honestly, if they heal you, I never notice, because I'm at the point where healing is not really concerned to me. So yeah. This is about Topaz Shards? This isn't, no. No, this has nothing to do with Topaz Shards. Topaz Shards are just referenced in the title. But if that's what you mean, then yes. You're welcome, Sneaky. My pleasure. Right, let's get out of here. Job done. What did it give me anyway? Ooh. Anyway. Leaving that. Yeah, leaving that. Wonder what session the game is created for you when you access navigation? Your game session. So when you open up navigation, you are creating a squad as a host. And then if you join into someone else's squad, your session is removed and you become part of someone else's session. That's the point at which a session is created. If you are hosting currently, you open up navigation, you create the game lobby. And it takes it from there. Yo, IG Sneaky, thank you very much for subscribing at tier 1 as well. Welcome into the channel, prop, my dude. Thank you very much for dropping that over here. Enjoy your lovely blue sub badge emotes. Your access to support T Lounge, that is a premium channel on my Discord, and no more ads for you. Cheers indeed for that, Sneaky. I appreciate you. I think that is a fair trade right there. I help you with a quick question. You help me with a quick sub. If everyone was like you, Sneaky, well, for starters, I'd be rich. That would be nice. Anyway, today I would like some Archon shards. Because why not have some more Archon shards? Especially as I've been creating a few of them here or there. I have currently got 4 purples, 2 greens, and an orange from the ones that can be crafted up. So, you know, I'm kind of burning through them. And I could do with having some more. I mean, who couldn't? Especially with the odds that we have got. We're going to start off with the Netra cells. If you'd like to join me on that, send me a message in game, the Kengineer. I'll bring you into the squad and we will do some of that. Never enough shards? Never. Never, never, never. Charizardian! No, not Charizardian, just Charizardian. Charizardian, thank you very much for subscribing at tier 1 as well. Joining IG Sneaky there. The 2 of you both got that lovely blue badge now. Euromodes, you're out reviewing all of that lovely good stuff. And look at that, we've got Zom wanting to join into the squad. Come on in. Charizardian, thank you very much. And a sip to you as well. Cheers. I haven't got one of my mugs with me today because of just the rotation of things. It so happens to slightly mistime it, I now have one of these with me. It happens. Saltmere, you can indeed join. Come on in. Charizardian, hope you're doing well today as well. Hope you're doing well. Somebody got 5 melee arcanes and Netra cells this week. I mean, if any of them were legendary, nice. If they were not quite so legendary, not so nice. And Ari, come on in. Come on in. There we are. That gives us a full squad, just like that. Let's do this, shall we? Thanks to Atomica. Head on down. Click the Netra cell. You know the drill. Only 1 legendary? Hey, 1 legendary is more than I've gotten in every single Netra cell so far, dude. So, you're doing better than me. At least in that regard. Is it worth to have a specific team comp for Netra cells? Nope. There is nothing in Netra cells that requires a specific team comp whatsoever. There is no particular benefit you can get from it, other than trying to find a way to convince random pub squaddies to sit in some spot. And, well, that's not a team comp, that's herding cats. Yeah. Game Ninja Show is ready to be forced.
Love you too, baby.
We're loading into Sanctum Atomica, so we're all good. Netra cells! Here we are, 5 to do. Let's get cracking, shall we? Keep wanting to make Jaya work, but for some reason can never get her to work for Netra's or Steel Path. I wouldn't have you a perfect answer on that as yet, because I've not dealt with Jaya since the new augment, which is not even that new now. I've been lazy. But yeah, with Jaya, she's pretty much a kill them before they kill you kind of approach. With general electric stunning to kind of keep you alive. But it's mostly just sheer damage output. Think more like Banshee than anything else. Yo. Adam Malik coming out of nowhere with a 10 gifted subs. Addy, thank you very, very much for that. Let me just have a look what I want to grab. Oh, someone's grabbed all of them. Never mind. Easy for me. Adam Malik, thank you very much for the 10 gifted subs there. So let's go out to the Raven King 1347, to Sethix, GS, to Gorm, to CB Draw, to Mega Boss War, to Shakayam, to Disaster Maker, to Northwest Storm Raider, to Random Potato, and to a trans man. A trans mask named Walt. I'm just going to go with Walt. Addy, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. You absolute ledge. If anyone is here who just grabbed themselves a sub from that, make sure you thank Ali as well, because that is exceptionally generous, and I hope you are doing well today, my dude. I hope you are doing well today. Now, let me just ever so slowly charge up my gun on these things, because their arms fall off really easily. I should just be going for an extra cell. I'll charge up somewhere else. What is this we're doing? So this is called a Netracell. It is late game content, very late game content. You have to complete pretty much the entire main quest line to get here. And it is considered particularly high level too. I'm also currently behind everyone because I've been reading stuff. And so it seems like others are kind of somewhat doing the mission for me right now, but it's fine. That happens. Sometimes I'm the one doing the mission for others. Sometimes it's the other way around. It's okay. Umbrelli, thank you very much for gifting a sub there to the community, going over to Fluid Snow. Right, I appreciate that as well. Thank you very much for that. Guys, we're already halfway through a level 4 hype train. Bloody hell, I've only just started streaming. I don't know what y'all have been drinking, but drink more of it. Quite frankly. Thank you. What happened to Blast? So for a very short time, Blast was ridiculously powerful. Toon Guy, thank you. Blast was ridiculously powerful in that it could be used with a Topaz Archon Shard to make it where you were functionally immortal. Seriously, if you did blast damage, you gain shields. If you have shields, you can't die to anything but Toxin. D went, yeah, that is a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? And so now it only recharges your shields if you already have some shields. If you have hit your shield gate, you cannot gain shields from the Topaz Shard until your shields start to actually regen, which basically just kills them. They're now just healing rather than shield gating. They cannot be used for shield gating purposes whatsoever. And 5 or 7.5 shield hit points from Blast, it's not a lot. So there's going to be cases where you can still use it with a massive Blast focus, but only if you're hit point tanking, not shield gate tanking, which is a far rarer approach. Not enough to try and justify using Blast. Yeah. Stupidly niche. But I mean, we saw it coming. We saw it coming because it turns out that you can't just make a Blast good with an Archon Shard. Blast is still bad. It's the Archon Shard that'll be good. Ares bubble can suck them into the zone. Oh, okay. That helps. That certainly helps. I'm going to turn the damage numbers off again. I hate not being able to see where I'm aiming. And unfortunately, for the burst, I kind of need that. I kind of need that. Okay. Ah, I see, I see. Immortal Suspension, then Bubble. Right, that's a play. That is indeed a play right there. Visually noisy, but you know what, we'll take it. Which means I have to be a little bit more careful shooting through. Right, Necromite. Is the Necromite just around here? It was. It popped when the mag bubble popped. That works. That definitely works. You know what, let's help this recover quicker. It looks sad. Just a cat on the ground over here like that. I have ways that I would rework Blast to make it relevant, but it's up to DE to actually do something, so I'm not going to talk about any kind of fanficking on that, basically. How is this thing so healthy? Who's stood in a healing field? Well, that one spawned on me. Yeah, to kill that thing, you really need to make sure no one stood in the
After these months of absence, I'm back to reclaim my spot at the top.
There we are. Yo, Addy with the 1,000 bits. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. You've had yourself your Christmas break. Now you're back to challenge the #1 spot again. But all the same, Addy, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits there. I really do appreciate that. And I hope you have had yourself a happy new year as well. Welcome in, my dude. Oh, that was not sucked.
Keep thinning them out.
We're working on it. We are indeed working on it. What do I think about the new Tennokai mod? Well, Tennokai mods, there's 6 of them, and a couple of them are really nice. Others not quite so nice, but Tennokai in general is actually quite nice. Overall, I really like it, especially it is huge for the Incarna melees. Like, genuinely huge for the Incarna melees. Yeah. Aren't we a bit too strong? Depends on your concept of 2 and strong. That requires qualifying as a question before it can be answered. I know y'all know what I mean there. How did Blast get nerfed? So there was the Topaz Archon Shard, still is, that gives you shields on dealing a Blast proc. First of all, it's incorrect. It is on Blast damage, not Blast proc. Although I've not retested that since the update. Alright. What happened is that yesterday, they changed it, and such that it can only give you shields if you have shields. Which means now that, I'm just going to sit away here. Which means now that if you hit your shield gate, rather than it making you functionally immortal as long as you're dealing blast damage, instead the blast damage stops giving you shields until your shields start recovering. Which is a major nerf to it. Major nerf. A complete fundamental change in what the shard does, actually. So that's a thing. No changing that now. That's a thing. Addy, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits again on that, actually. Just to be sure for now. I mean, yeah, that's definitely secured you the #1 spot for now. I do appreciate that, thank you. What a decision. I mean, on the one hand, as soon as I saw what the shard bonus was, I said that's overpowered. Straight up. Because it does make you functionally immortal. So long as you've got blast damage outcoming, you're immortal, which was insane. I'll get back to that point in just a moment because No Sympathy raiding on in with 295 people. Holy dooly, that is a little bit right there. I don't know if we have a mod around to do a shout out right now. Was Zom around? I think Zom was around. If Zom remembers to come out. Otherwise, I'll just do that myself in just a second there. But welcome on in, everyone who's just come from No Sympathy stream. How are you doing today, my dude? I saw you fiddling around with some Excalibur builds earlier. Definitely nothing sus going on in the conversations at the same time. Absolutely not. Are they? They're really struggling to find that drone, aren't they? Let me help them out. They are really struggling to find that drone. Zom with the slash command on it. The exclamation mark just brings up the bot. We could do better. We could do better than that. Clark deserves more than just that. Right, okay, Necromite. Not that one. Different Necromite. Oh, now they find it. Okay, whatever, I'll just go back. Yeah, it's fine, Zom. It used to be exclamation mark for it, but then Twitch introduced their own better version, so it's slash command is all. Am I doing? I'm doing alright. I've gone slightly deaf in this ear, thanks to the lingering effects of the cold I had, but I should have that fixed tomorrow. But aside from that, I'm all good. By the way, and I know that Clark knows about this, but I don't know if he's really announced much of anything right now. Clark, do you want to try the soon command? Yeah, I'm directing this straight at you, my dude. Do you want to try the soon command? Yeah, Zom's not quite figured this out. Oh, there we are. There you are, you got it. Okay, wow. You're gonna be like that, my dude. You're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like that. I see how it is. Great. Absolute jokester. See, this is exactly why we're not using the push mod. You're not allowed it. Not having it. Nope. I know what you're doing. There it is. There, he's finally clicked the right words in. Ah. So yes, indeed, on Friday, the stream's not going to be just your everyday variety Friday. Oh, no. We got a few people joining us. We got a few people joining us on Friday. We have got Brozime, we have got Clover, we've got Kodoma, and of course we have got good No Sympathy here. All together for one probably very chaotic stream. Knowing the peaks we got here, knowing the peaks we got for that, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be ridiculous. I'm looking forward to it. I am indeed looking forward to it. Line up and half. All from greatest play level company. Oh yes, indeed. Ain't no slacking on this. Just good names for good games. Hey, I thought... you know, that was completely off the cuff. But I need to remember that. Not gonna lie, I need to remember that. Good banter incoming? Oh yes. Oh yes, indeed. How much strength is needed to full strip with pillage? Depends on if you have corrosive projection or not, but without it, 400%, because pillage is base 25. It is the most expensive armor strip available to Warframe abilities, but if you can hit it, very good. Alright, you take care then, Clark. Thank you very much for bringing your community over here. I hope you have yourself a wonderful rest, and I will catch you later. Either tomorrow or certainly the day after. Have a good one, dude. Have a good one. Alright, I did actually check. What did we get from that one? We got a melee arcane adapter. Okay. Alright then.
Despite Armor Force's efforts, the trout population proved to be surprisingly resilient.
Okay, first of all, whatever that is. The trout population? Despite Armor Force's efforts, the trout population proved to be surprising. Yep, you got me confused on that one there, Ronald. Fully confused on that. All the same. Thank you very much for resubscribing here. 13 months. It's unlucky to some that number, but to me, that is just absolutely grand. Thank you for continuing that over here. I really do appreciate it. Fishing memes? Well, you see, I'm not much of a fisherman myself. I don't go fishing. Not for fish, not for compliments. I don't need it. All the same, thank you for dropping that over here. I really appreciate it, my dude. And I hope you're doing well. Right, we all looking good here? I think we're all looking good here. Let's get cracking again. Speaking about fish. Oh, hi everyone. Welcome. Welcome on in. This is typically a fishing channel, but apparently that's the theme we've got for the next 30 seconds at least. Go figure. You gonna go Terrify for the armor strip? Yeah, go for it. Terrify works wonders. You can use Tharos Strike, that works wonders. I actually have full armor strip here on Lavos without even using an armor strip ability, so that works wonders. And you might be wondering, wait, Ken, how do you have full armor strip on Lavos without an armor strip ability? Archon shards. That's how. Archon shards.
Hit the terminal to exit into the lab.
Oh, I see. Right. That makes sense, because you see, I don't speak Portuguese. I would never have got that. I 100% never would have got that. Let's see. I want the one that is over this away.
Step it out yourself or get control of terminals. They'll tell you where it is.
Oh, sugar, I'm under the stairs. Dash into here, grab the terminal. Hack it instantly because ciphers. Off to the next one. It's a beautiful process. It's a beautiful speedy boy process. Looks like Saltmere is ahead of us for the next one, but I'm still going to head towards it. You never know, I might outpace them. I do appear to be closing in on them. On your left. Bye. It's not a race, but I'm making it one anyway. Lavos performing at his very, very best. Archon continuity? No, not Archon continuity, although that does allow more corrosive. Just watch this. See these guys here? No armor. No armor. Simply, I can put out a lot of corrosive because Lavos. And I've got the Archon shards, which increase the max stats of corrosive. So as soon as it hits 14, no armor. On Lavos, it's not even niche. Nope, I don't have the right key glyph. I've got two of them, still not the right ones.
Right door, wrong key glyph. Try a different one.
Come on, come on. Headshot, headshot, headshot. Thank you. Charged up.
Security system won't open with all the uglies around.
Beautiful.
Clear him out.
So good on him. Yeah. Just giving him that total armor strip, especially as he can deploy zones like that and apply it very quickly, it's just nice quality life. Alright. Now we just leave it all running.
Should I save a few bits for later? Not I like spending them like this.
Adam Alec, thank you very much for the 500 bits of right there as well. I do appreciate that. You spend them however you please. If you're enjoying yourself, you enjoy yourself. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself here, to be quite honest. Thank you very much for those 500. Right, oh, is that someone going down? No, that's someone's pet going down. We don't need to worry about someone's pet going down. I've revived one today. I've done my bit. I have done my... Hello, Footsie. How you doing? Orihara said, trying out corrosive rock arc shards, been an interesting side effect to make me realise how much my firing behaviour has been warped by having slash heat procs everywhere. Like, I'm used to be able to fire at a target until it's half its health left and then moving on. Ah, yeah, I get you. You set it to the point where you know you're going to die anyway, and then you just look at someone else, which is very efficient with slash. If you're not running slash or other DOTs with such effect, then yeah, you kind of do need to finish the job, don't you? That will do it. Just which stocks of fusing from levels is 3, not his 1. I get rid of his 1, I love to run a green shard, lab boss for Toxic Insanity. I mean, I see why you get rid of the 1. I see, because, you know, you can heal him with other means, or sometimes you just don't need the healing. But, it is what it is, really. I mean, yeah. You just gotta work with what you get, really. Just work with it. That said, his first ability is pretty nice. Yeah, the full healing, the cooldown reduction if you've got the augment equipped, which you should have, because it's really good on him. Opening enemies for finishers, which you can use in various different ways as well. It has value. It definitely has value. I'm needing to recharge headshots. That was quite a few on that Xmas. It's useful. Find the Necromite on our way.
Albrecht's damn Necromites are reinforcing the Netrocell. Your hands
It's
are
up
tied
here.
until you
Do a
knock them
dash. Somewhere through here and slightly below me. Oh. Well, that's not what I was looking for, but you know what? I will take it. Necromite. Got it. Can't hide from me. What did they fix in Netrocells? They didn't fix anything in Netrocells. Netrocells are just as they were pretty much on release. So, no news on Netrocells. We're just running them because there's still good rewards to get, even if the drop tables are a little bit, silly. Yeah, let's go with silly. Addy's setting a precedent. Addy's done more than set a precedent. Addy has a history on this channel. They have made themselves very well known. They've been a massive supporter of this channel in gifted subs, in bits, in tips, and over on Patreon, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I do, yeah. Addy is not shy about showing their support on this channel. No Silpath Netras? I mean, I never ran one. I've missed and lost nothing there, quite frankly. Dev Shorts yesterday, Rebecca confirmed they're gathering feedback and making changes to Netrocells in the future. Fair enough. I wonder if they're going to publish the drop tables for the arcane packs. That would be great, you know. Not incentivizing people to start data mining the game again. Just let us know. What are the chances of things we get? Don't need to run non-disclosed practices.
Can't wait to see what you got when you get back here.
That has to be my...
Of course I can keep this up, Umbrelli.
Addy, thank you very much for the 500 bits there. Appreciate it. Thank you, dude.
But
I will say, one of my biggest gripes with DE, and to be honest, it's not even that big of a gripe, but it is a gripe worth mention, is that for all the good that they do, there always seems to be some very obvious slip-ups. There's the slip-ups with the introduction of the Galvanized mods, and how they were handled, the information on them being incomplete and in places entirely inaccurate. There's the slip-up with the Topaz Archon shards, and just how many of the perks were just wrong or non-functioning in ways which are painfully obvious. There's the non-release of the drop tables for the Arcane Dissolution. It's like, There's no reason to hide that information that's a good reason. Like, just not worth. Oh, another melee arcane adapter. Nice, yay. D do a lot of good stuff. Like,
Hey,
this game is in the best state it has ever been in, genuinely. So don't allow technical debt issues like this. Don't allow problems to accrue, is all I'd say, really. Will Gara start Armor Strip with abilities with Amalgam, Argonac, and Inodem stats? No, because Amalgam Argonac mod is from attacking with your melee, not with abilities.
there's no version of this that feels good.
Alright, let's grab this one, let's grab this one. Someone's grabbed that one, so we're going to grab this one. Yep, there we are, we're good to go.
Only one way out of the anchor hold.
Ah.
Use that terminal.
I can soon put an arcane to every melee. Yeah, it's feeling that way, isn't it? Alright, there we are, that's charged.
Is hidden somewhere in these labs. Sniff it out yourself or get control of terminals.
Oh, that's a busy ass room,
They'll
wasn't it?
tell you where it is.
Ah, I did not mean to hit that there. Slowed me down. Yep. Boom, that one's popped. To the next one. Let's see, over this way. Honestly, it'd be nice if all three of these were marked, like A, B, and C computers. That would be nice. Rather than one marker at a time. It just makes it harder to navigate. Like, to split up as a group. But we'll get there. It's strange, but we'll get there. Here we go, on location, pop that. All three popped, and we'll be able to easily find where the Netrocell is now. Is Vault still meta? For a lot of things, yes. If you were saying in general, well, yes, but that's not really a question that should be asked in the first place. So, that's why yes question mark. But for a lot of things, yes, Vault is still very good.
That's the Netrocell.
Alright, there we are, that's popped open. Already popping open. Okay, cracking on step 2.
Netrocell security system won't open with all the uglies around. Clear
Why
it
isn't
out
the security unlock all the way over
and make
here?
sure the system can see you doing it.
Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Pig was saying, I'm very glad I missed out on Tau Yellow last week, so didn't waste on Topaz. I mean, fair enough. Honestly, fair enough. I do wonder what would happen if people who created Topaz shards are now unhappy with the change. I wonder what would happen if they all contacted support and were like, hey, yo, I made this expecting something, you changed it, can I get my shards turned back, please, because of a change you made? It was clearly not designed that way before. Please refund me the situation so I can make an informed decision. If you're polite about it, who knows? I can't make any guarantees, though. Where is this Necromite? Up here somewhere? Don't see it. Down here? In here? Ah, there you are. Found it. Ah, we got. What happened to them? So the Topaz Archon Shard bonus that gives you shields on blast damage, which by the way still says blast proc, but is blast damage. Now it no longer gives you shields if your shields are depleted. It will only give you shields if your shields are either undamaged or recharging. Or, sorry, if you've hit your shield gate, they'll only give you shields if your shields decide recharging again after you've hit your shield gate, basically. So they can't protect you through shield gating purposes, they can only protect you through for your hit point purposes, which is a massive downgrade. Absolutely massive. Allow us to infuse shards. Honestly, being able to infuse shards makes sense as well. Which is, again, why I'll be curious to see what would happen if a lot of people started contacting support. Because if support passed it along, like, yo, we're getting a lot of these requests. You guys might want to maybe change your thoughts on stuff.
Security level dropping.
It's a thing.
Hit 'em till they stop moving.
Could happen. Not saying it will. Not saying it's even likely, but it could. You excited to finally use Blast on purpose? Yeah. Yeah. Would have been nice, wouldn't it? Bro, that was rude. Don't dive at me like that. Also, where's your weak spot? I swear, I'm shooting the shoulder. Where's your weak spot? Yeah, mobile charge. Find the drone. Drone is over this way.
Slowing us down. Find 'em. Smash 'em.
Apparently I killed it. I don't know how I killed it or where I killed it, but I killed it. Damn. There we are. Just trying to get my dash back, but didn't get any of the lineups. Scoop the loot over here because loot is good. Actually, that loot is pretty bad. It was just O-balls. Yeah, it's all crap. Whatever. Yeah, no longer infinite shield gates. Yeah, that's right. No buff to shield gate whatsoever with Topaz cards, at least not on the blast buff. But I say I've specifically avoided making Tau fuse shards in case there's any major changes in the near future. See, that's a problem. That to me is a major, major problem. It shows the distrust that is being built by these secondary changes post-release. It is building distrust in D's ability to ship something and allow you to enjoy it. That's not a good look. That is not a good look. And I would really hate for that kind of thing to continue, to sour the updates that D brings. Certainly if it affects things more impactful, that's... You shouldn't have to second guess if everything powerful is intended or not. You really shouldn't. Bait and switch? I wouldn't call it bait and switch, no. But if they didn't foresee it coming and being used in this manner... Oh, hello, what the hell? If they didn't foresee it being used in that manner, then honestly that shows a lack of foresight.
Grab and go.
Because the moment I looked at that shard saying, hey, with Blast Procs you can gain shields, it's like, oh wow, so shield gate. Literally the first thing that crossed my mind was shield gating. If it didn't cross theirs, that's weird. And if it did, but they left it to ship that way to fix later, that's bad. Yeah, it's... This update is overall brilliant. The state of Warframe is overall brilliant, but things like that stop me from giving it a top grade, and more than I would like to have to take off it, as it were. Also, I'm grabbing that ribbon sliver because I want the slivers. Did I see the Gals Prime teaser? I did not know. If it was teased on one of their live shorts, I gotta say, not a fan of them doing that, by the way. Just popping up out of nowhere and pissing off again. Just give us the reveals. Post it on Twitter or something, plus. I'm not going to tune into a 15-minute chinwag stream on the hopes that something important is shown. I'm just not. I've got better things to do, quite frankly. Yeah. Did I see Maneuver Tech you showed in Discord? I did not, Ray, no. Did they nerf Orange Shards Flat Crit 2? They've said they're going to. I don't know if they had yet. I've basically just given up on looking at that one entirely.
Come on.
For now.
Let's at least pretend this mess.
Hey, melee influence, wonderful. An arcane I can get plenty of other times in other places. Cheers. So we're on 2 adapters and a melee arcane.
Netracells.
Well, let's go again. Yeah, so the crit chance perk originally made it where 2 shards together didn't increase the max cap. which may or may not have been intended originally. Hard to say. They changed it to where it did increase the max cap, but now they're also saying that it needs to be a modded bonus, not a flat bonus, which, when it didn't increase the max cap, made sense kind of as a flat bonus, so now I don't know where they're at. I really don't know where they're at.
Where Albrecht stored the key glyphs. Grab them. No wrong answers.
Which is, again, yeah, problems. Problems. Alright, grab that because I have loads of health. I can despair it. Grab that. Who else is grabbing this one? Nope. Okay, I'll grab it. I have no problem with that.
You got your glyphs.
I got no problem with that.
So, hit the terminal to exit into the labs.
Yeah. Like I say, update is 9 out of 10. Still a hell load of good stuff. We got good missions. Mirror defense not included.
Now you have to find the Netracell.
Interesting new super boss, which I'm kind of mid on, I'll be honest, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it, so I'm fine enough with it. Oh, hello, that's what I need. New ways of Archon shards, which is a positive. New melee option, Tennokai is great. The quest's certainly very interesting. Still a little confused on pieces, but you know, I'm mostly piecing it together. Overall, 9 out of 10 update. The sound design and the art design absolutely knocking it out of the park, as per usual. These guys are absolutely legends in that field. Yeah. Little bits here or there. Things which feel like they just shouldn't happen. Quality controls and, frankly, management decisions rather than design decisions. Can we talk about with this update, a whole new enemy set got introduced? Yeah. Yeah, we got a whole new faction, the Murmur. Again, brilliant. It feels like a proper, fair faction to fight. Got interesting mechanics. There are some downsides here or there to how those mechanics work, but overall, a very positive experience. 9 out of 10. The difficulty in getting the headshots on some enemies, as in they don't have a head to shot, is kind of a problem given that, you know, Incarnate weaponry exists. That's my biggest complaint with this new faction, is headshotting for the Incarnans. Let's not have that. Shit, I was too late. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, I did not get out of here fast enough. Let me charge on you and get whacked. Okay, get viral propped. Kill you quick. Kill, 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 kill. Oh god, and one of those has spawned as well. Please don't kill those. I need those. Oh, okay. That Void Ring just spawned on me, slowed me, and then blapped me. Fuck. That hurt. Woo! Weak points, guys. Headshots. Look, transient. I get that you're trying to help me, but trust me, I know where the headshots are on enemies, and there are some enemies which do not have headshots. I have tested extensively with this weapon. I know where the headshots are and are not. Can we kill this thing, please? I've demonstrated it is very, 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 very strong. What do you scares you every time? Yeah, on this level of mission, when I'm a health tank, it kind of needs to die. It just has to go. Especially as it's also resistant to armor reduction. So one of the main ways you counter tough things, we can't counter. We just have to murder it. Come on, I need shots back. Thank you. An enemy that can actually be headshotted, which, by the way, doesn't have a head. Make it make sense. Finally destroy Necromite.
Damn Necromites are reinforcing the
Over there?
Your hands are tied until you knock them out.
somewhere around here. Okay, and it just exploded. I'm the only one here, but it died. Sure. Any ways to crowd control void rigs? Not to my knowledge, no. Did pretty well. The Burston? Well, the Burston is an extremely powerful gun. Once you got it incarnate like this, it's extremely powerful. Stomp does? Okay, yeah. Slows have an effect. Some slows. Specifically, Stomp definitely does, because it's, for some reason, just not counted against a lot of crowd control restrictions, which is really weird. Okay, I could not see I was inside that bubble. What ability would you replace the Lavos for Subsume? Normally, none, Chazardian. When it comes to subsuming abilities, you need to have a reason to subsume, and that reason must be more significant than, I want to subsume something. What is your Lavos in need of? That is your subsume. Yeah, again, guys, we need to be getting these things. I don't think I got here in time.
It's working. You gotta keep going.
Like, if you need a grouping ability for whatever you're doing, then that's what you subsume. Shit, it's here. If you need a armor strip ability, well, you don't. If you need a Golden Instinct slot, then you can put in that. It comes down to what you need. But a lot of the time, Lavos doesn't need, so you don't. What the hell even am I looking at there? That's just... This game is not made for anyone with epilepsy, that's for certain. I need to get back in the zone. How am I supposed to get a charge on stuff like this? Look at that. How am I supposed to charge up on that? What is this? Oops. No, 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 stop. There's no charging up on that.
Something's going on with
Necromite dead.
trying to lock this thing down.
That could be quite annoying. Yeah, the whole pulling enemies in, I get it. On the other hand, I just need my fucking headshots, and it's hard enough with this faction. It really is. There are trade-offs to pulling in all the enemies. You kind of have to go a little bit monkey brain. Makes Torrid even harder to charge? Oh gods. I thought it would have been at least somewhat easier drawing the shot in. Is the international stream happening today? No idea. Check their schedule. You change frame after? Very no very. It's a good idea in pubs, I guess. Maybe slightly. No, if people are outside the zone, they're outside the zone. You can't fix that. You just can't. Oops, slightly too far there. Here we go. Acquire our loot.
Was hiding, and get back to the sanctum.
Best for headshots of dog thing. Yeah, the floaty thing in the with the 3 arms. That one's best. The triangle dude. You've also got the 2 armed tall thing with the shoulder joints at the top, because between the shoulder joints is a very big hitbox.
Planned on doing with that.
The dogs, usually, if it's an Xmas, it's 5. Otherwise, I find they just die too quickly for me to get much charge on them. That's the problem with those. They're just weak. Curious, is there an element the mermen are more weak against? Yes, so you want to be using radiation for direct damage. However, radiation proc is kind of pointless, whereas you can stack up heat and just burn through them. Viral heat is still very effective. In fact, it's so effective that a single viral proc will mean that all of your damage output is stronger than any amount of radiation you could bring. Another adapter? God damn, wow. My luck today is trash. Good God.
I was thinking.
So yeah, if an enemy can't be viral procced in the Murmur faction, radiation, or heat procs if you can do loads of them. If they can be viral procced, viral heat is just the way. Alright, Netrocells.
I believe there's some clue to where Albrecht went in those Netrocells.
This is what week 1 and 3 for you like? Yeah.
Later.
You look at adapters as 20 plats to make yourself feel better? In a sense, I guess, but I'm not going to be putting it on that many melees. But sure. Sure.
You or your squad need to grab
Power heat and radiation. You can go and radiation, but you don't need it. Because the thing is that just having radiation doesn't make your gun do 75% more damage. It just means that the damage you're dealing that's radiation gets a 75% bonus against the Murmur.
You got your glyphs. So, hit the terminal,
Whereas,
exit into the labs.
by going radiation alongside viral heat, you reduce the amount of viral and heat you are putting out in terms of proc count.
Hidden somewhere in these labs. Sniff it
There,
out
I've got my
yourself
full
or
charge.
Get control of terminals.
Let's go up this way. Depending on the weapon you have, that split of damage types might not be a problem, or it might prove to be a problem. It really does depend on the weapon, the status chance of it, the fire rate, so the average status output to figure it out. Yeah. Should you try book? If you've got the book with you, mark it.
That book. I look at it, and I want to spit or split.
It's value.
Things wrong.
Might as well do a bit of value.
W wrong.
I'll just pop that straight away and then head towards wherever the book is. Book's over this direction.
And it's out. You let it out.
Ooh, this way. They are working on it. That's a lot of different status effects on it. That looks like a Sentinel's hit it. Oh. Nope, still this way. For a moment I thought they got to the next stage instantly, but no. Someone is bleeding out. Rise. I can't see where it is in this mess of stuff. Alright, cool. It's gone away somewhere.
Find the burrow it winters in.
Why rip Blast? So for a brief moment, Blast had the opportunity to seem amazing with the Topaz Archon Shard to give you shields on blast damage, not blast proc as the shard actually says. However, DE have now changed it where if your shields hit 0 and you shield gate, you cannot gain shields from the Topaz Shard until your shield starts to regen.
I'm glad you're okay.
So, whilst technically it still says it does the same thing, it is now much, 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 much less effective than what it was. Which means that blast damage, once again, is now just basically useless. There are use cases for the shard, but those use cases are limited, especially as it requires you to, 1, be shield hit point tanking. Oh, hello. Yoink. Shield hit point tanking, and 2, using blast output. Not only blast output, rapid blast output. That is repeat nerfs right there. So yeah, it just kind of loses all care and consideration at that point.
That's the Netrocell.
Still no use case for blast damage. There is
Door, wrong key glyph. Try a different
there
one.
should still be the use case of using it against what do you call
Netrocell security system won't
name of
open
it?
with all the uglies around.
Lephantis. Use it against Lephantis because of the prime mods having the greater effects with blast and with corrosive. I think that's still available on primaries. And then Angels, technically armor stripped, are weakest to blast. The problem with that is that Angels armor stripped are also just weak. That's the problem when it comes to blast. The only time you have something fully armor stripped that wants you to use blast, they're just weak anyway. Likewise, even against the Eidolons. The Eidolons, I believe, are technically best blast once you fully armor strip them. But they're already so murderable that blast doesn't have a spot. You don't need it. It doesn't provide you with any value at that point worth consideration. So it doesn't have value. Returning player, haven't played since the release of Plains of Eidolon. What should I focus on according to you? The main quest line, 100%. Doesn't matter where you are in the game, what quest you've done, the main quest line. So I'd say look at the quest, if you can see it, Whispers in the Wall. No, Plains of Eidolon, let me see. Look at minimum the quest, Rising Tide. See what you need for that. And then once you've done that one, make your way towards the new war and do all the requirements to get there and so on. The main quest line will get you as much content as possible to unlock, like different options. And from there you'll discover lots of new things that you can indulge in along the way. The main quest line is 100% the way to go. Oh yeah, someone's off to kill the Netris. They're coming right, aren't they? Should be somewhere up around this way. They got it. Never mind, I'll go back. I'll go back. That dash into Amphibian Bite twice in a row there, that was satisfying. Not gonna lie. Only time you do blast damage on purpose is Octavia's Mallet, and then you're not doing it on purpose. You're doing it because Octavia's Mallet happens to do it. Like, that's the same as saying you do blast damage on purpose with the Kuva Brahma. No, you don't. The Kuva Brahma happens to have blast. You didn't choose it for that.
It's working. You gotta keep going.
You choose blast when you choose it over another option you could have in the same mode or category. When it happens to be the damage type of what you're using, that's not you choosing it. That's like, say, with Lavos here, I choose to have 370 shields rather than 270. No, I didn't choose that. That just happens to be the amount of shields I have. I didn't choose that number at all. That's the distinction I make there. Alright, Necromite. Somewhere over this way.
Necromites are slowing us down. Find them. Smash them.
Aha! Figured you out, B. You thought you were hiding up there. I outsmarted you. Can't get away with that one. If in doubt, look up. Works a lot of time in games. Gal's Thermal Sunder is best blast? As blast? Yeah, as blast, but again, the only rule in you're really using that is if you're looking for the armor strip, and that's not the blast, that's the armor strip. God, my screen is a mess of effects going off. Turning it down would just make it thinly visible effects everywhere, rather than actually make it easier to see everything. For Blast, what happened to it? So, Blast on the Topaz Archon Shards has the feature to give you shields when you deal a Blast proc. That's incorrect, it's actually on Blast damage. Secondly, it used to give you those shields regardless. Now it only gives you shields up until the point you hit your shield gate. Once you shield gate, you cannot gain shields from that shard until you start naturally regenerating your shields. Which means that the whole keeping yourself alive with the shield gate is gone. It's an entirely different form of tanking using shield hit point tanking. Far less valuable, far less utilized, and still requires you to use blast of all bloody damage types. At a rapid fire rate, no less. So, yeah, blast was useful for, like, some setups if you dared to go that route. Like, you could make it work. And now it's just not even worth thinking about again. And it's a shame. It's not the biggest loss, but it's a shame. Do I think it should have stayed the same? No, honestly, no. I think that that level of immortality is, in its way, ridiculous. Immortality as a tanking type is, I think, a problem in this game. A problem which DE doesn't really have a solution for without basically creating Warframe 2. But that doesn't mean there's more reason to add immortalities. However odd they may seem, that was a very easy immortality. So I do agree it should have been nerfed. That said, Blast is still in a nothing position. It needs something. Ray, not for Titania, you know, because of the other Prime mod that got added for it. So Blast Lephantis is only for primaries now. Only primaries. Otherwise you should be using Corrosive. And that's only because primaries have primed cryo rounds, but don't have a electrical toxin primed mod. Blast has big bonus to robotic mechanic units like Thumpers. Thumpers, you would need to armor strip for that to matter, otherwise you should be using radiation. If you've armor stripped them, then it doesn't matter what damage type you use. Therein is the problem there. And the next reward, that's a good question. One of these is from the Whisper, and one of these is from the Netracell. Now here's the thing, you can come across Whispers all the time. Netracells you can only do 5 times per week, it's a specific mission. And yet, I have no way of knowing which one actually came out of the vault. Yay! I did 5 runs, and I got nothing unique to Netracells, or no Archon Shards, no Legendary Arcanes. Put it that way. No Archon Shards, no Legendary Arcanes. I rolled bupkis on that one. So, guys, thanks for joining me on that one. Wonderful. Let's leave here. You posted the movement tech in the ET Lounge. Sure, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Slam jump tech. Jump, apex jump, flick cursor down to initiate slam attack. Apex of attack wind up, flick the direction you want to go. Oh, is that how people have been doing those kind of weird slams? And how they seem to happen randomly? It's people flicking their mouse. This fucking game. Fair enough, right? Congrats on discovering that, or at least congrats to whoever did discover it. Fair enough. What's up, man? Currently downloading Warframe, ready to learn. Well, welcome to the stream. First of all, we are in very high-level content here. There is a risk of you encountering some story spoilers, but you probably won't understand pretty much any of them at this point in time. So, that's good. Secondly, if you are at a point where you'd like to have some generalized newbie advice, like, okay, I've landed, I've done the tutorial, I'm looking at Earth, and what do I do? Then good news for you. I have you a 1-minute guide that answers that very question. You head on over to my YouTube channel, !YouTube for the link to that, or just go to YouTube, The 10JAN23. It's very easy to find. When you open up my channel there, the first video playing automatically, that is what to do when you're new to Warframe. Single 1-minute video, and it gives you all the information you need to get started, honestly, seriously. How many views is that thing up to now, actually? This is genuinely curious. How many views is that one up to now? Because that short's been out for a hot minute, and it's on 409,000. Okay, that's a couple. That's a couple of views right there. 409,000 views. It has been watched for, if it'll tell me. And okay, I'm gonna have to do the math on this because it tells me the average view duration, but it doesn't tell me how long it's actually been viewed for. Come on, YouTube. I can figure out the number, but you could have just told me it. It has been watched for 4,887.5 hours, approximately. Give or take error bars of about 2.5% on that. So nearly 5,000 hours of people's lives in total have been spent watching that short. Wow. Here's the craziness of that. That short had been watched for more than twice my total mission time. That single 1-minute video. That's insane. What the hell? Wow. Alright. I wasn't actually ready for that metric. Bounty saying I clicked on the short on YouTube, opened the Exodia Contagion one. What? Bounty, how did you manage to get it that wrong? How did you manage to get it that wrong? What? Trying to say, hopefully they add some sort of pity or guarantee system or more common, unique rewards. We can literally buy those arcanes for standing. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to... Is it me or is the music a bit loud today? Or it might just be my hearing is off. My hearing is definitely off at the moment. I'm going to switch this back to the slightly calmer synth. We've had that EDM for a while now. Right. I'm going to introduce you guys to, personally, if I were designing Netracells, the way I would implement the reward system. Now, this probably wouldn't be how DE would want to do it, just because RNG gets people excited, supposedly. I don't understand enough psychology, but apparently it does, so whatever. But if I were in control, if I were to have designed Netracells, this is how I would do it. Very simply. Very, very simply. Let's give that a nice, lovely underline, shall we? 1. On completion of a Netracell, you get a reward. A reward. Let's call it a Netracode. 2. Tagfer is using these codes to track down what Albrecht is doing. How do I... It's like that. Albrecht is doing. Because remember, that's what Tagfer's looking for. He's looking for information on what the old man is doing, where he's got to, so that he can get his revenge. That's what Tagfer is all about. So you complete the Netracell, you get a Netracode. Tagfer's using those codes. So, Tagfer will trade the code for an item from the storage. Now in the storage, you get the you get to pick from the storage options. There would be one of each arcane, limited per week. So if you run 5 Netracells, you get 5 codes. You can get 1 legendary arcane of melee crescendo, 1 legendary of melee duplicate, and then you'd have to pick something else for your other 3 Netra codes. 1 of each Archon shard. Very simple. So you could pick up each of the Archon shards in a given week. 1 shard enhancer. So you'll be able to purchase yourself an upgrade to take a shard up to Talforge, or 2 shards. 2 melee adapters. It's arcane adapters, isn't it? 2 melee arcane adapters. And I think with that, that covers the entire drop table, doesn't it? Yeah. Those would be the options in there. So if you wanted to, you could buy 5 different arcanes. Or buy 2 legendary arcanes. Plus 3 shards. Or 1 legendary plus 2 shards, plus 1 Tau shard. Whatever combination you liked. Whatever combination. And of course, if the only thing you care about is a single Talforge shard, you run it twice and piss off. I'm not saying it costs you 2, I'm saying you'd have 2 available to buy. Not that it would cost you 2, Solomir. There'll be 2 available to buy. And that's it. That's what I would do. That would be the approach. RNG, chuck it out the goddamn window. And this... Now, I get that this is not exactly ideal for the drops they were putting out. They could limit things by having only a couple shards available each week. Shard Enhancer available every other week, something to that effect. Although the Shard Enhancer just being an enhancer on itself is kind of, you know, the whole cost. Done like this, maxing out a Legendary Arcane would take a maximum of 21 weeks. Because you get one a week. Job done. Wouldn't people stockpile the codes, only spend them on the single thing they want? They could stockpile the codes. You're very right there. You could make it where the codes expire. If D wanted to make it where they couldn't be stockpiled, and that is a very genuine concern, make the codes expire. 4. Netra code expires at week end. It's a limited code because of the wibbly-wobbly murmur stuff going on. You know, you have to use the code quickly. So Tag was like, give the code, give the code, give the code, give the code. Gotta do it quick, mate. There you are. The whole carryover for whatever stuff another week. Fixed. Argon codes. Yeah. Yeah, screw the name Netra code. They're Argon codes now. Why would stockpiling them be bad? It wouldn't necessarily be bad. It would be more that... theoretically, someone could just build up the shards to buy out things outside of the weeks they should, is where I'm getting that from that concern. Honestly, I don't see it as a problem, but again, it depends on how you want to limit the amount of stuff coming out. Because what you have to remember is that we can take away simple averages. There is a 7.5% chance of you getting a Talforge shard per run, which means on average, you won't get a Talforge shard in a week. It takes you, what? 7.5 times 5. On average, 1 Talforge shard every 3 weeks from that. So this would allow you a Talforge every week. So that would be 3 times more powerful than I intended. If they made it where this was only available once every 3 weeks, then they would want to avoid stockpiling, so you couldn't just have the stockpile to get that each time. What theory crafting you come back to here? This is me saying how I would have done Netra cells. Because I do have an issue with time-limited RNG stuff like this. I'll be quite honest. It's not my biggest issue. It's very much first world problem. I might be overblowing it, talking about it as much as I do, but quite frankly, I don't like it. I just don't like it. We just run here today, 5 runs. I've got 3 melee adapters and 2 melee arcanes. All of those arcanes are only ones you can also get just by normal assassination missions. So that was a complete waste. At least in regards to that. And I still have yet to get a single legendary arcane from them. My luck is absolutely stiffing me on the Netra cells. What happened with last? The Topaz shards got nerfed. So it's easier if I just show you exactly which one we're looking at. So as this thing here, you can see the second option, regenerate +5 shields when you inflict an enemy with blast status. Firstly, that's wrong, it's blast damage. Secondly, it's now got a limiter on it. If you hit your shield gate, the Topaz shard turns off until your shield starts to regen naturally. It functions exactly the same way as the Lethal Progeny on Caliban now. So it doesn't allow you to constantly recover from your shield gate. You hit shield gate, the shard's not helping you. This is purely a hit point tank, rather than a shield gate tank now, which kind of needed to happen. The fact that it was released in the state it was is ridiculous. Because people act like, oh, well, that's the design then, and spent limited resources on it, only to be told, yeah, no, we're not doing that now. Which is a problem. Netra cells seem like less of a drag to run than Archon hunts, but how the RNG is behaving, you're questioning if you want to bother. See, they're less of a drag because they are quick to do. Whereas Archon hunts, you've got 3 different missions to do, and sometimes you'll get like excavation. 500 chaotic excavation, that takes a hot minute. You notice that, you feel that. Even running these quickly, very quickly you might get that done in 3 minutes with a speedy group, but let's be real, extermination's anywhere 4 to 6 minutes, realistically. Excavation, that one you're not getting done quickly. In fact, you'll often want to do them one by one to protect them. 1.5 minutes per excavator. Even if you manage to trigger them all in sequence at 7.5 minutes, it's actually longer than that typically. So you put that together plus the showdown, this whole thing is probably around about a 20-minute setup. It's getting close to a 20-minute setup. Now, it does guarantee you a shard plus some sortie tier item. But it does feel much more of a drag because it's 20 minutes to get there. Oh yeah, if you get the defense ones, good god, they really do drag on, yeah. They really do drag on. Caleb say, on the Go RNG, I believe game theory on the context of Fall Guys. Found the more skill-based a gamer you are, the more you tend to dislike RNG. How very true, Caleb. How very true. That's not to say that if you like RNG, you are not skillful. Don't anyone take that away. But it makes sense that someone who has skill to express then feels more often the negativity of RNG taking away from the reward they feel they've earned for that skill. Whereas someone who doesn't have the skill to express enjoys when the game provides them with a win anyway. At least if they don't feel the RNG doing it for them. It's like it's basically at that point casino logic. Pull the crank, watch the dials spin. I won, they say. Like it's some achievement. You mean you love gambling? Yeah, some people love gambling. I don't. I don't. Ray saying, Reb confirmed on Dev Shorts that Netracell has been the primary topic of conversation since the new year started. They will likely have a solution on this month's Dev stream. Yeah. And the thing is that it's fine that they can say that they have a solution or they've been talking about it and going to come up with a solution, but the only reason they are talking about it is because we talk about it. This actually has come up multiple times over on my YouTube video about it. I have to wonder if some people realize how this works. Oh, I'd grab an example comment, but I can't be bothered to give someone the airtime on that. I have had a variety of comments on the YouTube video about Netracell drops, saying to the effect of, oh, I don't know why you're talking about it so much, like it's all bad. You know, everyone knows DA's going to fix it. Everyone knows they're going to make changes. Someone going so far as to say, everyone knows they'll cave in and make it better. Okay, right. Cave into what? Tell me, Mr. YouTube commenter. Cave into what? Cave into the pressure? Pressure from what? Pressure from feedback from the community? And where are they going to get this pressuring feedback from the community? Is it perhaps going to be a community member making a video outlining exactly how the situation is and loads of people agreeing with it? Oh. That's what they cave into, is it? Why are you talking about giving feedback? They're going to be listening to feedback. Yes, that's why I'm giving feedback. That's basically what the comment is, alright? Do you realise what you're saying here, mate? It's like the opposite of people who complain about traffic. People who complain about traffic not realising they are part of the traffic. This is people complaining about feedback, not realising that the feedback is causing the change they think is going to happen anyway. Genuinely hilarious to me. In a slightly depressing way. On a completely different note, Solomon is saying, by the way, somebody I found out about ship sabotages. Let's go back a bit. The pipes need to defend when doing coolant in fuel slot, do not scale and will immediately combust. Oh, what, unlike seal bath? Well, don't do that mode then. Do it the way that can't be failed. That would be my genuine recommendation there. Yeah. But that's what I was expecting. It's easier to just say bullshit before thinking and thinking just up nowadays. I mean, I know there's always going to be Muppets. There are always going to be Muppets. And then I'm going to mock the fuck out of them. Because they are Muppets. Plenty of people are perfectly fine. Plenty of people have nice, sensible thoughts on topics. Plenty of others realise that their thoughts are probably not sensible and let others handle it. And then some people are absolute muppets. And we will mock them. And then they still are allowed to... Let's not go down that road. Right, so let's get this going. Now, I see we have a Wisp buff. Ooh, so let's not use Wisp. I can't be bothered. Let's get cracking through on the Archon Hunt. If you'd like to join me on the Archon Hunt, we've got Extermination, Excavation, and then the Showdown. Send me a message in game at the 10JAN23. I'll bring you on into the squad. Just going to close up all the tabs here, so we got a fresh set of entries. First come, first serve. Let's go smack an Archon in the face until something shiny falls out. A Trout say, you know what concerns me? That's not a Trout, it's actually, you said it was Codfish? Codfish, yeah. It's Codfish here saying, you know what concerns me? In fact, I spent 50k Cuba on a Riven and immediately traded it along with duplicates for Endo. Sure. Alright. As you do. As you do. By mistake? Oh, even better. Hold on. YouTube Kengineer versus streamer Kengineer is such a fun shock. Oh, yeah. The Kengineer you get on videos. Today, we're going to be going through the Archon Hunt. We're going to go into the Subdue Archon Boreal. Now, this is a mission where you want to bring likely the frame you see here for a 300% strength bonus and a 500 hit point health bonus. Both of these are additive after all other values. However, if you don't want to use those, you can still use your normal loadout. First today, we've got an Extermination, we've got an Excavation, and of course the Showdown against Boreal, for which I have a 20% chance of getting the Archon Shard. Now this just means a 20% for me. It doesn't affect the rest of the squad. They will have their own drop chances, depending on how their luck has been on the previous hunts. And then you get to me, and I go completely different. We're going for the Archon Hunt. Let's do this. Where is everyone? Someone probably asked already. They did. But why was Blast useful? Blast was useful for a hot minute because of this Archon Shard right here. Regenerate plus 5 shields when you inflict an enemy with Blast status. Firstly, that's wrong. It's Blast damage, not status. Secondly, it used to mean that if you were constantly putting out Blast damage, you or your companion, you would constantly be refreshing shields, therefore constantly have a shield gate, therefore constantly be functionally immortal. Now that is gone, because if you hit your shield gate, the Archon Shard turns off until your shields start to naturally regenerate, which means it's no longer good for shield gate tanking, only for shield hit point tanking, and then only if you don't let yourself hit 0. Which is a very niche number of frames that are shield hit point tanking in that regard. And even more niche because they have to then also use this shard and use Blast to get the benefit. Bunkray, come on in. So yeah, because of that single change, Blast went from originally pointless to, hey, at least it works with the shard, to back to pointless. Yeah. Straight up. Why don't they add a confirmation message with the Riven like they do with Helmin for overriding build loadouts? They probably assume that you won't just select random mods to turn into Endo. Okay, well, that's probably it. Guess be more careful next time. Lesson learned. If you've not spent any of the Endo that you got from it back, if you've not spent any, get in touch with support, let them know that you accidentally melted it down. They may give it you back. May. But you have to be specific about what mod it was, you have to be specific about when it happened, and you have to not use the proceeds from melting that mod down. Then they may give it you back. And if this happened 3 years ago, well then fuck you, you're doomed. Yo, Crispy Nug saying, oh my god, it's you. You taught me how to play Warframe with YouTube. Many thanks. You're very welcome, my dude. Welcome on into the Twitch channel as well. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Please ignore the bit where I just swore someone seconds prior to reading your message. I don't swear on YouTube, but I swear here, it's fine. It happens. It's a mature game. If we're not allowed to swear, then what are we allowed to do? It's a genocide simulator. Twitch Ken suffers through Warframe's nonsense so that YouTube Ken can speak calmly. Yup. That's basically it. You got the mod back? Oh, there you are, I'm back. Oh, you saved. No one wants to join us on hunt? We got 3. We can do this. Let's go. Yep, let's go. Bop. Big time for Gust, and so can you. Yeah, Fred. Fair, absolutely. Joey saying, also, I remember in one of your videos you mentioned that Blast was good for Lephantis when using Dexpixia because of Primed Heat mod, but now we have Prime Convulsion. Yup. So Blast is only useful against Lephantis if you are using a primary weapon, Primed Cryo round specifically, to obtain that Blast superiority over Corrosive. But even then, is it really worth remodding just for Blast, just for Lephantis, using that specific setup? I'd say no. Frankly, I'd say no. Speed of swearing, no one in Warframe has dropped the F-bomb yet? It got very, very close. Hawk got very close. Pedleg, what are you doing those? You know, the carnivorous as far as I know. How can I help you today? Something to that effect. So yeah. Personally, I don't have a huge issue with swearing in general, so long as it is entirely used as an expression of intensity. Yeah, it's an intensifier to what you're having to say. Basically, just don't be a dick to people. Sometimes you want to express a certain level of intensity. Now, when people use swears as commas, or even just as breaths between words, then it gets a bit much. Then it is just obnoxious and I don't like dealing with it. If someone swears more than they speak, yeah, that is problematic. At that point, we've lost the intensity and it's just a case of bleh. Word salad. Word feces, quite frankly. Oh, I'm looking at this, aren't I? Never mind. I wondered what was on my radar. I was trying to look for it. Orders should be allowed to swear? I mean, Orders is a character that feels like they would swear, yeah. It wouldn't be amiss in a mature game like this. It wouldn't be. Hey, I understand it not being there, and I've got no problem with that either. Not swearing is also fine, believe it or not. I just want the charges back. Why does everything die too easily to a headshot now? My gun too strong. Ah, whatever, the mission's done. Whoops, this way. That's annoying. I had a good sprint there and it got blocked. There we are. If you listen to the Grenier, they curse constantly. I mean, they might do, but yeah. Gonna use swearing conservatively? I wouldn't say conservatively, but when you swear, use it with intent. That's all. Usually the dialect in Tuscany, their blasphemies use a space between words. Yeah, and that does get, I'll be honest, off-putting. That does get off-putting. Fish calls are dodo shitholes. It does, yeah. It does. Alright, I'm going to switch off of levels for this next bit. I know. Can switch off levels? What's happening? It's true. I'm going to switch off levels here. I'm going to switch to Frosticle. Frost, by the way, having freaking 5 Tau Forged shards in him. Look at this guy bossing out here. 5 Tau Forged. Grief. I actually didn't remember I did that. Oh, yikes. Oh, one sec. Cat scratching at the door. We've been over this. If you want to be in, you have to be in before I start streaming. Come on, sit down somewhere. You gonna sit down? You gonna sit down? Come on, be a good girl. Sit down. You want me to open the door downstairs, don't you? Yeah. your fur's all cold. Have you been outside again? This hour? Alright. Be right back. I think someone's forgotten to open the door for her. Come on, you. Mum and Menace. Alright then, there we go. Cat sorted into the room, all good. To those of you who have tuned in the last 7 seconds, don't mind me, my cat wanted to be let through a door, and can't physically open that one. Alright then. King casually frost-maxing whilst everyone argues about which characters would curse. Kono, what do you mean by that last bit? Not sure I quite follow. Oh no, Death Scholar, I know she can't open that door. Because if she really wants something, she'll do it herself eventually. She has never opened the door from this side, because she'd have to push, and she's not strong enough. She's a small cat. She can pull it open, but she can't push it. I know that for a fact. Well, let me just grab that. Nice, easy one.
In the hour of my sacrifice, you turned your face away. And so, there is no place for you in the eternal fields of Tau.
There we go. I think that was some good movement to get here. I think that was some good movement. Alright, Connor, that's a bit sweeping. I won't weigh in particularly on your experiences there, because I can't say I have any experience in that area, but I would say that is a bit sweeping. Be a little bit careful as to how sweeping you want to go. One could misconstrue that as particularly racist, quite frankly. Now, I'm sure that's not actually the case with you. I'm sure that's not actually the case. So you may want to consider your approach and wording a bit. Certainly in a public forum. It is Choco, yeah. Hence my my commentary on the matter. Be able to freeze enemies and completely armor strip them in a single cast, it's beautiful. There are genuinely people who believe that Frost is not a powerful frame these days. That he has somehow lost his place, lost his identity. Meanwhile, I just armor strip in a full area, locking down things, protecting objectives. You want to tell me that's weak? You know, Kono, maybe you're just, again, as I'm saying, overslating an area. Now, you are straying very clearly into racist territory, and I'm going to have to ask you to be very mindful of what you're saying now, dude. I'm trying to be polite to give you the benefit of the doubt here of misunderstanding your approach. Let's make this very clear. There are unsavory elements in every community. If you go to, for example, region chat or trade chat, typically when I sign in, if I were to open up, there'll be a lot of problematic people there. That's nothing to do with their nationality. That is all to do with them as an individual. Choco, racism is a catch-all term with respect to race and nationality, as they are treated interchangeably in various manners. If you want to quibble the nuances of the etymology and the definitions of the word, by all means do so with a linguistics professor. However, in terms of the social application, they are treated functionally the same, so yeah. Use frost to make ice creams and snow globes? Nice. I like icicles. But then they burn. I might be doing it wrong. Wow, there's a lot of frozen stuff here. Let's keep it frozen. Yep. Off to the next location. What to put on extra slot for ceramic dagger? Using it as a stat stick. As a stat stick? Ooh, I don't know if there is something for that. Isn't extra slot pretty much just the Tenokais and then some weird support mods? I don't know if there is something for you. Ken's Jr., if you ever decide to make a guide on the underground pet breeding market on Warframe, I won't. Yeah, no, I've got no reason to judge that. Sorry, what? What? No, no. Kono, all I can suggest is find better people. And really, I'm going to draw a line here now, Kono. That is going to be the end of the conversation on that particular line with you here, mate. I've been as polite as I can on this approach. Now I'm telling you, drop it. Because if you continue, then I'm calling it erasing and banning you. Pure and simple, mate. Oh, that is exploding. There we are, we're fine. Yes, Lance, if they continue the topic, just ban them. I've made it very clear. Can I pick this up, please? Thank you.
My mother, flame devoured. Behold me. Limbs of my children.
Catch a turn? No, just one person. And that one person is going to stop now. One way or the other. It happens. I recommend everyone else just leaves that between them and the mods now. You know what? You have armor. That's not allowed. Thank you. Have I unmodded this or something? Feels weaker than usual. Wait, hang on. That's what it was. Bet. When did I put dexterity on here? God damn it, I'm an idiot. I didn't check for dexterity. Oh well, it happens. What headphones do I use? They're just some Sony ones I bought at an airport for like 20 quid. Because I realised when I got to the airport, I forgot to bring headphones. I've had these now for a decade. Oh, good God, how did I just... That was quick. Not sure how, but that was quick. Yeah, just some random airport Sonys. How do you gain focus points? So you'll gain focus on picking up a focus convergence orb. That'll give you 5,000. You continue to pick up focus at an accelerated rate, having picked up that orb. So long as you have a focus lens attached to whatever you're gaining affinity with, if that item is also at max level. Like, if I have a lens on my Frost here, it's level 30, so any extra affinity will go towards focus on it. You can also gain focus by having your active focus school set to the one you want to gain focus on, and then doing something which obtains focus, like, again, picking up the convergence orb, or killing certain Thrax units in Duviri, that kind of thing. There's a few different ways to get focus. You can also get focus from, turning in Eidolon shards. Those you get from either, very rarely, Sanctuary Onslaught, excuse me, or much more commonly from doing Eidolon hunts, but that's also a high gear thing. Did they remove the Debris player start? Yes, you can still get into it as soon as you've completed the tutorial quest. But you do need to complete the normal tutorial Vor's Prize before you're able to continue on to Duviri now. Because they realise, oh wait, this is not actually a good way to start players. Who'd have fucking guessed it? God, I love this gun. They put after the Awakening? After the Awakening? I thought it was just after the initial tutorial boss prize. In any case, yeah, it's not right at the start. There's no pick your starting path anymore. Which was an experiment to be sure, but a failed one. Which happens. Alright, as soon as this pops, we should be good to go. What's the best way to grind arcanes for Arcane Dissolution? My video about Arcane Dissolution also gives you suggestions on how to do that, mate. So I recommend checking out my video on that. Head on over to my YouTube channel. Alright, we are done in this mission. Let's get out of here. Wait, where am I going? Ah, shit, I was following the wrong marker like an idiot. I just kind of zoned out following a marker. Didn't realize I was following the yellow one, not the green one. It's way we go. Yep. I know how to navigate. I have a degree in navigating maps or something like that. There we are. Whoops. Very thought of starting the game with Deviri Paradox is absurd. In your head? Yeah. I don't think it was the most well thought out plan, to be quite honest, no. Which Evoker is best used for ranking up? The one you have plenty of. I would say, if you're turning in Evoker for standing, just make sure you have enough Evoker for your next rank up. Because by the time you're going to get to the one after that, you'll be able to have picked up plenty more Evoker. But the very next rank up, make sure you have the Evoker saved for that one. Considering that bounties can be run for daily standing anyway, you probably don't want to be burning Evoker for standing until you're just that tired of running bounties. The bounties are basically just normal missions. Realistically, yeah. Okay, so if they stuck with it, I could see Deviri growing to a viable start, but Grind Island design, I suppose. Oh, it's not so much Grind Island, it's the fact that it's just so un-Warframe over there. And the only real way to appreciate the Deviri story's significance is to have played the New War. If you have not reached the New War, then not only do you miss a lot of what Deviri is showing to you, but also it kind of overshares on what's coming on the quest line for the rest of Warframe as well. I really don't think it is a good quest for newer players. However, what it offers to newer players is so damn powerful post-quest that it's kind of hard to tell them don't do it. You got the circuit. Right now, they could, if they've spent their Nightwave credits and gone, oh crap, how do I get Vauban now? Now they can. If they really just don't want to deal with the Saren fight, and let's face it, I can fully understand that, they can just bypass that with this. Get the full Saren pieces before even getting to Sedna. Hell, before even getting to most of anywhere, really. On top of that, also getting... Okay, that's... I mean, that's honestly not the worst augment to have for it. That's pretty shit. That's pretty shit. That's pretty shit. Wow, I rolled some bad mods here, didn't I? But a Jul Zoran and a Saren. A not terrible augment to go with it. Certainly actually helpful for newer players. Newer players can really make use of that augment. I'd be really hard-pressed to tell a new player not to do the Deviri Paradox, but it's just not in the right place story time. Yeah. It's a problem. Sakvadar say, I tried doing this in one go, got stumped at level 1700 Jackal at tier 9. Yeah, that'll do it to you, won't it? That'll do it to you. Right then, oops, wrong button. We got the Archon Hunt. I want to be switching over to a different Warframe and weapon. Should I lock it behind Zariman? Honestly, yeah. Honestly, yeah. I think the Angels of the Zariman quest probably would have been good to gate Deviri behind. The problem is that that's a huge part of the way down the line for them to go, hey, new players, we're trying to recruit you to come play Warframe. Now sign up for this massive grind before you can go and try the new stuff. Isn't that wonderful? That's a problem. And yeah, I don't know what is really the solution on that. Is it worth to keep a variant of all mowers, or should only get the mods and build a good one? Oh yeah, just get one good mower with all the mods available to you, so you build one of each type to get the mods you need, and then just one good mower is all you need at that point. You can keep the others for alternative builds if you really want, but just one good mower is all you need. Remember performance size dexterity? Yeah, I'm not going to be using it on this run, but I'm going to switch that out for the next time I just blindly equip it. Because if I'm blindly equipping it, I need Merciless. Danke. Right, back to Old Faithful. Hello, Lavos. And back to New Faithful, Burst and Prime Incarnate. Set to Heat Corrosive will be perfectly fine. I don't care about the radiation benefit. Heat Corrosive will do the job. Have this as backup healing. And I would like to have the grab satellite, that there. Let's see, set up, secondary dex, perfect. Nairu, beautiful. Yep, that'll do the trick. That'll do the trick. You think it should be locked behind more Vin than you have Understanding Operator? I think having the whole Duviri, like, become available when you touch the Dormer Zone, like, you get that connection. You, having gone through the new war, you're like, what the hell is all this about Drifter and whatnot? And then you kind of get yourself past that. The Drifter seems to understand what's going on. You're really confused. And then you finally get to your Dormer Zone. You press on that door. That strange door. You see these blades. You know those blades. You're like, how did they get there? But you also know how they got there. The Drifter, you knows how they got there, but you don't know. And there's that disconnect. You're like, hang on, wait, what's going... You touch the door, and you get the other side of the story. The Duviri Paradox. You then discover your future of the past. And that, to me, makes sense. But D needed to find some way to make it where Duviri was available to new players. Which is both a good thing for what the circuit offers to new players especially, and a bad thing for what it does to the story. And I'm not really sure about how I feel about that. Gotta say, hear me out, future stuff, big difference between Steel Path and Star Chart. That way they can go, hey rookies, look at the shinies, look at the vets, here's some hardcore stuff you'd smash against. I'm not really sure what that means, sorry Kelev. I don't think we can get, like, major Warframe design strategy into a Twitch comment, to be honest. RSA, imagine a poor new player gets through the Duviri and goes off to the main quest and wonders why he can't use their fancy swordsman horse riding drifter anymore. Yep. Or why all their Warframes and weapons suck absolute ass when all the loner ones are amazing. Like, okay, how much do I have to go through to get it? Or the sheer level differences, how the levels in Duviri don't make sense to levels in normal Warframes, so they learn levels and then have to unlearn levels. The story feeling very disjointed. Could have the circuit available early and the rest of Duviri locked behind the quest. I mean, yeah, the circuit could just kind of be this strange void entity. Much like how we just accept. We just completely accept all the way over here. Oh, not there. All the way over here. The void. You go through Phobos and then there's just void. What is this void area? We just accept it. We just casually go to the void and back. It happens. We call it Tuesday. Or Wednesday in this case. That's fine. We accept that. And so, there's some strange node in there, the circuit. Which Lotus could be confused about. Some strange things, but it seems to benefit our past circumstances. Here, time doesn't really make sense, Tenno. And then we discover later that Teshin has been kind of guiding us all along or something like that. It could have been done. But it's, again, not the route they went. the route they went is what they went with, and well, it just it's where we are now, I guess. I do feel odd about the whole thing, quite honestly. It does feel odd. The biggest difficulty for me on really assessing it is that we don't have many actual brand new player experiences who started that way. I have spoken to very, very, very few people in that circumstance who took the Duviri route first and continued with the game and what they actually thought of it. It's really hard to get that information. Certainly because of survivorship bias, those that you can find are going to be the ones who managed to stick it out, not the ones that went through it and then went, what the fuck?
Archon Boreal serves only the ram.
Yeah.
He cares nothing for the twisted servant that carries him.
It's
the being I once called brother.
it's hard to assess, and D should be in the best place to assess it. They discontinued it as a starting point, which is enough to me to say, okay, it really was a bad idea. Because they had to spend effectively both dev time and PR capital to undo their implementation, say, look, we made a bad choice. That's all I really need to know, that they know it went wrong. It's also interesting to me the introduction of the whole story skip, which then got changed into, oh wait, yeah, we don't want people skipping the story, we want people skipping the grind, but how do we skip the grind fairly? And the pack they've come up with is fairly valued, as I said in the video on it, but it still raises the very real issues of how long it takes you to go from day one to, you know, the quest, the story quest you want to be engaging with. There's a lot of just kind of missions in between, which are non-quest missions. There's a lot of general grindiness, which, yeah, it's an MMO, but they want people to get into new stuff quicker, and I wonder if perhaps they're just finding themselves in a difficult spot on how to handle that.
Opens to Narmer prayers. Tear the veils from deacons and use those.
It's a tough one. I can see why they are stuck for choice in issues as well, because there's a million ways you could do it, and not a million good ways. That's the reality of it. Alright, let's focus on getting this down, and we can then have a much more direct discussion on the matter. Because this Archon needs to die. Sasha, story order rework could be an interesting idea. Maybe. Again, one of the million ideas. Certainly not a full idea in itself. There we go, that turned in. I'll just wait for the others. Ladybug saying, the gap between the start and Lake Natara is very long. Evidently there's not much interest in the early story anymore. I mean, what I recall of the early story and early missions is it all being a bit, what's going on? what actually is important here? We're meeting characters and they're kind of sitting in places and... If I recall, it all had a kind of, this is important vibe. But then the actual characters in their stories weren't really important. Like, hey, look at this whole Maru person. Hey, look at this whole Clem character and Darvo. And oh wow, isn't that really important? And now we're assassinating this guy. It's going to have such ramifications on the system. No ramifications whatsoever, by the way. So big, so important, so wow. It's really hard to tell. Yeah. And it's down. Snap.
Boreal is down.
Alright. We are done here. Let's get on out, shall we?
Excellent.
La da da da. So that's saying the early missions before Uranus is kind of a mess. Someone who joined more recently. There's a lot of missing context. It feels like it doesn't actually start until Uranus. That is very true. It takes a long time for us to get into serious business Warframe. Hey! 20% chance that I get a Telforged. Well, that makes up for getting absolutely butt-kiss from the Netracells. GG's on that. Meta Ascension saying, I'm divided on how to advise friends to start the game. Narratively, introducing a drifter so early only to disappear for dozens of hours is awkward. Oh, dozens is an understatement. Oh, we don't need that. Thank you very much. But mechanically, the circuit is such a boon for getting fresh accounts up to speed. Yeah, it really is a tough spot. Yo, we got a shout out given to Zion. Sorry, did I miss a Zion? Hey, Zion! Hey! I did miss you in the sea of messages there. I do apologise on that. Welcome on in, Zion. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome on in. I'm not reading out your whole message. You can do that. No. The chat does not get it that easily. They have to earn it. They have to earn it. A good day to you. Absolutely. If you aren't already following Zion, you are missing out on some very chaotic moments. I'm just going to put it that way. I think that is the fairest and kindest way I can put it. Some very chaotic moments. Oh. Does it on 20%. Just on stream, gets Tau. Yeah, I mean, just 20% Tau. It happens. It's got to happen 1 in 5 times, so it happens. Absolutely. Clem mission, best mission. Let's see. If we were to kind of spec this out, just on a number of missions basis, let's see. So we got E Prime, Mariana, Mantle, Lith, Cambria. 5 missions. That gets us to Venus Junction. We need to complete the quest of Vor's Prize. We need to complete the quest Sire's Vigil, which also means going to Cetus and doing stuff there. And fuse any mod, which is a non-cost. You could do that by accident by that point. So we've got 5 missions, 2 quests. We get to Venus. 6, 7, 8, 9. We get to this junction. It says Jacklet Fossa. 10. 10 waves of defense at Tessera. 11, 12, because 10 waves. So we'll count those 2 missions. And rescue a hostage at Linear. There, 13. According to 13 missions and 2 quests so far, we get to go to Mercury. Now, Mercury, there's not actually anything we need to think about, so let's just see where it goes from there. Mars, we need to do Once Awake. So we're now on, what was it, 13 missions, 3 quests, and collect a bunch of Rubido. Now, completing the quest Once Awake just requires the Mercury Junction. So do you actually just unlock Mercury, then just not have to do anything there now? Oh shit, yeah. You can actually just not touch Mercury now? Yeah? Yeah, because they removed the requirement to defeat... no, to do Suite. They removed it. So Mercury is now actually nothing. Because there's not even a Warframe you unlock here either. It's just nothing now. Wonderful. Once Awake quest takes place there? Yeah, it takes place, but that's just quest. You follow the quest nodes. Size Vigil just for Venus. It is introduced. It's not relatively advanced drop, but it is introduced. Reason being is that they wanted to introduce you to the whole process of dealing with Cetus and whatnot. That quest process steps you on that path to actually unlocking amps. So because it is necessary for progression, that's why they put it in there. That's why. Venus Junction needs 10 defense waves in 1 mission. Yeah, I noticed that. I literally said about that, Tubman. I mentioned it. Or if you're saying this one, it's not the Venus Junction, it's the Mercury Junction. 10 defense waves at Tessera, which I specifically read out. So, to get to Mars, just Mars, we're already at like 13 missions equivalent and 3 quests. That gets you to Mars. Then it'll be Phobos, so 14, 15, 16. Phobos. Refine a Void Relic, so you need to do a Void Fissure as well. Plus you need to open 3 Void Relics, so 16 plus 3, we're at 19 missions, and then you can get to Phobos. To get to Ceres, you need to defeat the Sergeant, so we go Phobos. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 to get to the Sergeant. Back to Mars. 25, 26, 27 to get to the Junction. Complete quest Heart of Deimos. Which I think... I don't actually remember how Heart of Deimos becomes available to you. But that would require you getting to Deimos, I believe. So now we're up to like 30 odd missions to get into here. And we're still getting to Ceres. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get to this junction. It says complete another quest. Defeat Vor Exeter. So you gotta do this mission as well. And you gotta do Draco. So you gotta go here, and do 10 minutes there. And again, it's all adding up. By the time we get to this, now what quests have we done? To unlock Jupiter, by this point there is the Archwing, which is a little bit of story on Balor Fomorians, just kind of thrown around, and you get the Archwing. Let's see, quest-wise, you've got Heart of Deimos, which is an interesting, if slightly confusing quest. Certainly for that part of the game. I suppose earlier in the game it makes sense. Once Awake, which is a bit of a weak quest, but we're real on that one. And that's pretty much it. Sire's Vigilant Boar's Prize, yeah. So it's not really a lot. Wasn't Archwing unlocked in Mars? It might be, but it's the requirement as to when you do the quest, Chalk. When you have to have done the quest, is the point. In terms of story there, I can't say that there's too much in the way of story that really grabs you. But there are half a dozen quests and like 30 plus missions, 40 missions, to get to Jupiter. And if you consider a mission at just 5 minutes, good luck with it being just that for a lot of players. If you consider a mission at just 5 minutes, we're talking 3-4 hours of basic missions, plus then the hours of quests to get here. Yeah, Heart of Deimos at least gives you kind of an introduction to Greater Universe lore. There is that, yeah. And that is like quest number 5. Or something like that. It's, And yeah, that is given what you know what you're doing, Grand Rail. You're very right. And that's just the mission time. Then you've got the trying to figure out the different systems, like what is a Void Relic? Why should I care about it? Where do I get these resources? I would like some more weapons, please. I'd like some more Warframes, please. What do I go for those? How do I do those? What's a clan? What's a orbiter? Is this my orbiter? Is that my orbiter? Is the thing that lands my orbiter? Is that a landing craft? If that's a landing craft, what is this? Where's the rest of it? What do these doors do? Because of course that door will be locked, and that door will be locked, and that door will be locked. So just like, okay, so what have I actually got here? And there's this Howl of the Kubro quest that comes up that says you can get a dog. Like, oh my god, I can get a dog. And so they go ahead and get a dog, and then it's actually just... It's basically they've just bought a dog. It's an ugly looking pig dog thing, and it's there. And some people are like, oh my god, I can pet it. And others, like me, are like, oh, is that all? Okay. Woo! Do I accept friend requests from viewers? Snake Raider, I'm surprised it's taking you this long to ask. I'm really surprised, because, like... Yeah, I've got a couple hundred added at this point. Why does a dog come from an egg? Because it's not really a dog. It's a dog. Not a dog, it's a dog. That's what it is. Like, I really do wonder, if they... if I were at DE... If I had the budget at DE, one of the things I would do would be to grab 5 people who claim themselves to be gamers, Nothing particularly pro or anything, just 5 typical university students. It's got to be university close to DE. There's got to be. You grab some first year university students who are happy to spend a week or so being paid to play video games. They must have never played Warframe, never engaged with it, just 5 people. Start them on the game and observe them. Follow their gameplay. They 8 hours a day, see how far they get through. They've taken out the mastery locks and stuff, so the whole 8 hours a day running into daily rank up restrictions shouldn't be a problem. So just slap them down into the game, play it, experience it, let's see where you get. You can play it with 2 beers and a sandwich? Honestly, yeah. Like that could genuinely be a volunteer thing. You don't even need to pay some students for that. Hey, come in. We'll give you a free meal. Hell, 2 free meals. Nice warm meals. They're like, fuck yeah. Students will be all over that. Boom. See what happens. See where things really switch on for them. Guide them, help them even to understand where they're going. Much as if a friend had got them into it, but see where they go and how it happens. And honestly, D should have that data en masse from general new players, seeing their movements, seeing what they do. That kind of data analysis, I'm certain they have someone doing it. I am certain, because there is no way DE could have got to this size of a game and kept it going this long without at least having someone peering behind the curtain of the data they must be collecting to see people's journeys. But it still leaves me wondering, if that's the case, then is this really the best they've got? For a start? You go, boop, boop, boop. Oh wait, double back to boop, 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 but. Oh, right, sentience. It's a bit of a way. It's a bit of a way. I think I mentioned that Europa, my video, was the 9th planet to access. Yeah, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's the 9th one. This is the 9th planet. I know it's not a planet. 9th planet you access. Which makes this one the 10th. This one the 11th. On the 11th celestial body, you discover the whole sentient storyline. Pretty sure Deimos is skippable? Nope. Complete quest Heart of Deimos. You need to touch Deimos to continue. You have to do the quest. Yeah, it's good after 100 hours, but literally, yeah. And to kind of roll back the clock a moment, let me do something really silly here. Okay, that wasn't what I meant by really silly. What did I just do and how? What? What was that? Anyway, not what I intended to do, but it's what happened. Let's grab this. Let's grab... no, lower level. There we are, that'll do. Nope. Damn it, I've done something to it. Come on, give it something really feckin' stupid. What are you? You're fine. Akvasto, it's probably higher level than intended, but it'll do. And, nope. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Let's scroll right the way down here. Let's see. You know what, feck it, you get them from the Delivery quest. That's good enough. Bow? Do I even have bow? Just basic bow? Mark 1 bow? Bow? Nope. Let's go with these. You get them from the quest. Buy Mark 1. I don't want to spend credits on this. I'm being that cheap right now. Alright, no mods. No mods. No mods. Cool. And we'll have a little bit of modding. There we are. Oh, yeah. Let's take those off. That would matter. I'm going to have Worm. Just to have it there. I can't turn off focus schools. That's just going to have to exist. Right. Has Thermal Sunder if I care? I actually don't. But thanks for pointing it out. That's, yeah, I just don't care. Volt is cheat. Volt is my starter. This is literally the frame I started with. Not just a copy of it. This is the frame I started with. This is the one.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marine Station.
I started with Paris. I started with Kunai. I think I started with Skarna. But otherwise, this is what I started with. This is what someone new to the game has. And bear in mind, I'm using some movement tech here. I'm going to stop using this slide. I didn't unequip with Arcanes? Yes, I did. You are either far behind or not paying attention. Let's see. This is the new player thing. I kept my original Volt? I did. I just didn't really have a reason to get rid of it. I was like, you know what? I'm keeping this around. Why not? Even just my understanding of how to navigate is not really new player. It's... Oh, I like... New players even have the enemy radar now, so even that I'm not cheating with, really. Although, yeah, I know my Worm has a better one than they would have. But they'll still get markers as to where to go. I haven't learned how to bullet jump yet because I don't know if the game would have told me at this point or if I remembered. Just everything dies when I point at it for a bit. Okay, I need to reload. Just gonna stand here like a numpty. I have an ability. I found some energy. Zap. Tutorial teaches bullet jump now? Yeah, do people actually remember? Some do, some don't. Oh, energy orb! Yay!
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
That's actually really... Early game Volt has a pretty nice ability. But the point is that for new players, you come through a mission and you come across so many enemies and they just kind of fall apart. I've put no mods on any of this. None. Nothing. I just kind of point in their general direction, they die. Now, I get it's, you know, the lowest of the low-level situations, but at the same time, it's also the lowest of low-level weaponry and mods. Which makes it all feel a little bit odd. And now you got to do that for 30 missions. Before you get to Jupiter. Reminder, a new player would have a Mark 1 and not a regular Bratton. Are we sure about that? Are we sure about that? Or did DE change it where you no longer get Mark 1 weaponry, and now Mark 1 weaponry is just worse versions that are in the market that we have to tell new players, yeah, you need to buy those to level them up, they help progress your character. Why are they worse in tutorial stuff? Because they are. Yeah, that's a change that happened. So let's say probably into Mars before we start noticing it's soaking up way more damage. Exactly, yeah. Like by level 15, the DPS of the Bratton here will still kill most enemies within less than a second. The wake-up call is Saturn, yeah. That's where you get the wake-up call. Because you go from doing Jupiter Europa, which is 2 Corpus entire planets. You go from those two to then Saturn Armor again. Because Ceres here, you're at level 15 to 17 Grenier. Next time you see the Grenier, they're up at level 21 to 23 just at that mission. And by the end of it, 21-26 even on that defense. Like, you really feel the difference in those 10 level changes. In fact, you know what? Let's just redo what I just done. Don't know what I was on side, but let's just redo this here. Again, basically unmodded. I have 2-pip vitality mod on my vault. That's my modding. This is worse modding than someone should have at this level. Now I'm going to allow myself slide and bullet jump because I've got to this planet. Oh no, they've got a little bit more attention. Good thing I did this Duviri quest and I got these swords. Yah! Yah! I'm going to use an ability. Yah! Yah! So, for dozens of missions, that is your new player experience, is just kind of end up in front of stuff and it dies. Oh, I did a slam. How did that work? Maybe I played long enough that I've noticed how that slam works by now. I don't remember. Some people do just end up in places without noticing how the game works. It's weird. Oh. He was alert. I couldn't stealth attack him. Oh, you still need resources. Yeah. Okay, if you've got to Ceres and you haven't got the resources to build these, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. Also, wow, I didn't think an Xmas unit would be that easy to kill, but there we are. Unmodded. I just kind of chopped him. Zap. Also, if you're not doing Vault with a subsumed Thermal Sunder, you could pick up your Riot Shield at this point. There is a guy up here. Let's chop his face off. Or his leg. Either works. Remember story of someone getting all the way to 7 unmodded? Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that. You're like, how did you forget mods exist? Like, I don't know, just play the game. I've met people like that. In other games, I've genuinely met people who just kind of existed in the game, and that any system more complicated than pick up mission, do mission, they just didn't encounter. Now, this might actually be one of the more powerful guys to face as a low-level player, because he just holds that shield in front of you. Like, he really does just hold that in front of you. And you get this guy. Nope. Get out of the field. Finally, some challenge. Oh, that grenade is going to hurt. Stab. There we are. And the challenge is over. Alright, well, that was fun. Back to slashing. Like, for a moment there was an actual threat, not gonna lie. But then, we shot it and it died. I'm surprised that didn't actually kill him. Huh, I thought that was in range. Can you mercy kill at this point? You can, yeah. Mercy kill is just always an option. You don't unlock mercy kills, it's just an option. Bap. And considering it pops up with the thing nice and loudly and says press X to mercy, you'd have to be an idiot not to notice. Now, okay, they probably wouldn't use ciphers there, but let's face it, we don't need to go through that. Everyone knows that hacking exists. It's just hacking. It's nothing special. The fact that level scales power exponentially is probably also a big problem. Again, I've talked about that one at length, that the whole level scaling in Warframe and the way it happens reaches a point of being completely wild. And that levels just fundamentally don't make sense. Like, a new player can only understand levels by going to the wiki, because at no point are levels otherwise explained in this game in any way. There is no concept of base level, there is no concept of how much the level scales, there is no concept of the fact that a level 12 enemy and a level 12 enemy are completely different power levels. Literally nothing in this game explains enemy level in any way whatsoever. You just experience it and hope for the best. And that's just weird. That is genuinely weird to me, and has been since I started playing. Okay, I did get prevented from knockdown there by Worm, so I am getting a slightly easier experience than a new player would have had there. Slightly easier.
The enemy is broken.
There we are.
Well
Mission done.
Now get to extraction.
Pop the little bit of energy I need to sprint a bit more. Huzzah! Da 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 da. Saying, at the end of the day, Warframe's gameplay is amazing. Triple S, it's everything else that makes the new player experience miserable. See, I would say, honestly, the gameplay we get at the start there is a little bit perplexing. Because I've just used basically a modded stuff and walked through a mission that is hours into the game. Which is weird to me, to be honest. For a looter-shooter, gear-based leveling game that we have, that power fantasy feels a little bit overtuned. Would be my assessment. Now, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I am completely wrong, but I do distinctly remember when I was a brand new player wondering why the game was so easy. I do distinctly remember asking both myself and the friend who tried getting me into it, and therefore failed the first time around. I remember wondering, where's the challenge? Do I still use Warframe? Yeah, I actually used it just earlier today. So yeah. Just what I was saying, probably be helpful if they explained rotation wards and how they function too. That's some of the mechanics that could just easily be visible in-game, with a little bit of a tab. Over here, if I click on this mission right now, it starts the mission. That shouldn't be the first thing it does. That should be the first thing it does. It should act more like this, split into stuff. But the thing is, if you just hover over, it would have... You click it and then click the mission. And then, on this bit, a tab out, click to open it to see reward rotations. So it'd say, for completing 1 excavator, you get this. 2 excavators, you get this. 3, you get this. 4, you get this. Repeat. For defense, repeat. Hell, even it could just say, after completing 1 excavator, you get this, and it just has the list. Press tab again. Page 2. Here is on completing 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. After which it repeats. Little bit of an info box right there to go, oh, I can get that, I can get that. Oh, it's chance-based drop rates. Oh, so that's how it works. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I understand that because I'm not an idiot human. I can read a couple words and go, oh. And with that table out, you hover over, it shows you a pop-up of the mods to say, like it says, Vitality. There you go. If I click the expansion here, it goes after 1 excavator. Well, not for the Archon Hunt, but if it was a normal excavation. After 1 excavator, Vitality and so many other options, I hover it and it shows the Vitality mod. If I click it, it would just bring me to the Vitality screen. Just as if I had gone Vitality, like so, and clicked it. And this page here should have max rank, minimum rank, 0, and then can be upgraded to. 0 rank can be upgraded to max rank. Boom! Just Like how you can get lost through a wiki, grabbing all the like ideas and details, just little bits there to get players to go, oh, what's that do? Oh, what does that tell me? Oh, where does that go? Oh, so that's a thing I can get. Oh, so that's here. Oh, oh, oh! Boom. Boom.
The end is near. Remember to grab a ticket, guys.
Yeah, we're already at 9:30. Bloody hell. Wow. Time really does fly on these streams. I have too much fun with that. Ah. Yeah, little bits like that. Information brought into the game. In front of players. In a place where they can access it at their own leisure. But also provided to them to say, hey, yo, you kind of want to know about this. It'd be beautiful. Ruby Blossom, cheers, Hydrate. And... cheers as well. I see you grabbing that ticket as well. Cheers as well, Airsoft Sniper with the 17-month resub. Reminding everyone to grab the ticket there. Airsoft, thank you very much for resubscribing your Prime here. And enjoy your sub for another beautiful month right there. Relics show the percentages instead of some bars. I agree. I absolutely agree. When there are simple numbers, basic-ass percentages, just put them there. There is the space in the UI. Just put them there. I'll take Codex not that useful until like Sedna. The Codex has a serious issue. The Codex has a very serious issue. Ignoring the fact that it's, you know, just kind of like all kinds of blah blah blah. Quests are fine. The quests are fine here. Universe, just this kind of layout of stuff. But the very serious issue, the most damning issue, quite frankly, is here. Now, this looks fine, right? This looks kind of... okay, it doesn't look that fine, but it's got mods. If I come all the way down here... oh! I've heard about this Railguards mod. I haven't, but let's assume I had. For me demonstrating. I've heard about this Railguards mod. Oh, but it doesn't tell me what it does. Oh. Okay, never mind. That doesn't help me. Let's see. Necromech Seismic Wave. That might be good. Drop sources, Necromech Seismic Wave. Ally Void Rig. Caviar. Rogue Void Rig. Isolation Vault Bounties. No, I'm not... what? Where do I get that? Okay, maybe I don't want that after all. Let's see. Frostjaw. Ah, okay, Frostjaw. I think it's for a... I think that's for a Kubro, right? Okay, let's see. So... oh, it covers that one. It says that. It says from hyenas. Okay, where is a Rabblejack hyena? Hey guys, where's a Rabblejack hyena? Oh. What does it even do? Oh. Teddy, that wasn't a literal question. Darth Plagueis, that wasn't a literal question. You two aren't doing too well there. Might want to read the room a little bit on that one. So, like, it's just... That doesn't help someone get stuff. Check the wiki? Yeah. It is basically check the wiki. And it's just like, oh, no, that's not how it should be. But as far as you can just write the name of mod in chat and actually look at it. Yeah, I actually can. Let's get one of the ones I don't have again. Just pop ourselves down the end here. Let's go... I don't have Necromech Refuel? Oh, I mean, it's not a good mod. Yeah, let's go for Slayboard. Yeah, Slayboard. Let's go Slayboard. Can I link Slayboard? I can link Slayboard just like that, and boom, there's the details. Yeah. Dear. Clicks Codex webpage for Warframe wiki opens. It would be superior at this point, wouldn't it? It would be superior. Warframe is still in beta? True. And forever will be. But it's bits like that. Just bits and pieces which could really be improved upon. in the arsenal here, one thing I would do here is by default not show lower ranked copies of a mod if I've got the higher ranked one. You easily turn it off, a little click button. By default, not show that, because when I'm scrolling down here for other options, it's even easier to see on a Sentinel. Even easier to show. Let's say I've looked at this and I've gone, well, actually, I don't need repair kit on here. I take off repair kit. Okay, I've got 11 drain left to use. And I've sorted by drain, which should be the default sort, to be quite honest with you. I've got 11 drain left to use, so I can't fit those. Animal Instinct, I've got that fired up. I'm not shooting with it, so that's no good. I don't want shield capacity. I've already got that actually here. Contagious Bond, I don't want, blah, 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 blah. You know, you go through bits and pieces, like, I don't want these ones, fair enough. And then we get to here. Animal Instinct shows up again, but it's an unranked version. And Fired Up shows up, but it's an unranked version. Never mind that Assault Mode and Coolant Link, and maybe others. Oh, actually, that was one of the two. But in other cases, would be more. Never mind that there's more mods coming up further down. By this point here, I've got to a mod I've already checked that I don't need, but it's showing up again. That, I feel, is a design issue. By default, it just doesn't need to show me lower ranked versions. Now, once you get into the minutiae of modding, yeah, you sometimes want to use a lower ranked version. But typically, you don't. And so, having it where all of these other versions of the same mods shows up as well, ain't that smart. That's a simple change as far as I'm concerned. Don't show them by default and have a button to show them. Job done. That was the worst click I've done in a while. 4-4 say, I know this might be unpopular, but I'd really appreciate having more loadout options, such as crew members and my operator. More loadout? Oh, right, I see what you mean there. Yeah, I get that. So it's a different aspect entirely, but I get that. I get that. So yeah, but just looking at the new player experience in general, the whole process of going from, hey, welcome to Earth, you are a Tenno, here are some bad guys, fight them, to, hey, here's the storyline that really begins to kick in Uranus. You do this junction here. Is it this one that gives us... No, this doesn't even give you anything, does it? You just kind of make your way through and start to experience whatever's next. You get the quest, The Second Dream, from completing the Neptune junction. Having completed quest Natar, which... You don't get it here. Do you get it... Where does the Natar quest come from? Does the Natar quest just give itself to you? That doesn't sound right. What's the unlock requirement on the Natar quest? Natar you get after being scanned by a sentient. Oh, it just gives it you where the sentient scans you. Or you scan a sentient. Right, okay. That makes sense. Fair enough, fair enough. If it's unlisted, Ray, then no, please, thanks. Wait for the actual announcement. Right, you don't even need to have Uranus unlocked. I guess if someone taxis you. Yeah. I say hello to Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Oh yeah, fair enough. Phil say, thanks for videos. I learned a lot. You're very welcome, Phil. I hope you enjoy your time in stream and the more videos to come as well. Okay, so trying to wrap up all of this into a concise bit, because I've complained for a while. I feel like I need to have some kind of conclusion to this. And simple points I would address is that, dare I say it, the most broad and simple answer I can give is that between arriving here, this first mission, and arriving here to start the whole Natar process, I feel like from between there and there doesn't seem to be a direction other than just proceed. There doesn't seem to be a here's why. Here's what you are doing. Because fighting the enemies, I just showed there, even by Sarah's unmodded weaponry, cutting them up. Just straight up cutting them up. So do you need to upgrade your gear? Do you? And the quests up to that point are, quite frankly, a bit all over the place. Now, it's been a while since I've done them, but as far as I recall, and have reread into the storyline, it's just kind of a bit... It's a thing. Those quests split between nodes of, hey, we are here to kill some people. Hey, we are here to capture a people. Here, we are going to defend a location for a bit. We're going to go to the thing, there's no one around it. Then we're going to defend it. And then after 5 waves, we could stick around, but we're just going to go, I'm done, bye. Yeah. Circa Boomerang say, well, Star Chart is for reaching vanilla frames. Story-wise now, the big updates are a layer above that. Okay, that's a very interesting claim to make, honestly. That's a very interesting perspective. The Star Chart is from reaching vanilla frames. And I'm gonna put a word in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna put a word in there with the way you presented your message. Star Chart is just for reaching vanilla frames. Story-wise, the big updates are a layer above that. As in, go somewhere else. Do Star Chart, then you get to story. That is an interesting claim to make, because... First of all, this certainly wasn't designed to be just the way you get Warframes and story can come later. Secondly, even if it was designed to be that way, is that even remotely a good thing? Would that be remotely good? I'm not sure it would be. Science is saying you get a variety of individual frame quests, basically nothing joined up or isolated. Yeah. I mean, not even getting onto the individual frame quests you get along the way. So you get the Chroma one and the Limbo... The Chroma one? The Chroma quest I find hilarious. You pick up the New Strange. That's the one that unlocks Chroma, if I recall. So once you complete the junction to get to Europa, you get the New Strange. Then you go through Europa and Saturn. And then on completing Saturn and going to Uranus, you get the Chroma Neuroptics. And then you go to Uranus, head on over to Neptune, you get the Chroma Chassis. DJ, thank you very much for dropping your Prime over here. DJG9022, thank you very much on that. Welcome to the channel proper. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much. Oh. Cheers indeed. Okay, so leaving Jupiter, you learn about Chroma. Leaving Saturn, you got one part. Leaving Uranus, you got another part. Leaving Neptune, you get the final part. And then... you're like, okay, finally I can build him. What do I need to build all this stuff? Well, actually, now that you've left Neptune and gone to Pluto, you actually need to now go from Pluto to Sedna to be able to go through Sedna all the way over to Mero, where then you can try to get the piece to finish building him, because he needs the Sarin piece. Or if you felt like it, you could have gone through the circuit and used the piece, but if you use the piece from here, then you can't build Sarin. And I'll be quite honest, I genuinely cannot remember the story of the New Strange quest. All I remember is us fighting Chroma, I think, multiple times over. Or tracking and then fighting Chroma. Yes, Vivam, I didn't go to an exhaustive list of all the parts needed to build Chroma. I mentioned the one that is the latest in the game. It's just... What is happening with that one? What is happening with that entire process? It's just... Okay, I was saying, correction, recently been through the quest with the rookie. They are, don't know, don't care, just keel. Yeah, it's just... the compulsion just ain't there. The compulsion just ain't there. The Equinox quest? Equinox quest? The Equinox mission, but people complain about that for a different reason. That's not new player experience, that's the grind experience. Basically, Star Chart is outdated? Basically it is, yeah. But you can't get rid of it, because it's necessary progression in terms of experiencing the tile sets, experiencing the core gameplay loop, getting the resources to unlock the new things. It's all supposed to be there. Just... Okay, I'm going to pitch an idea, not as a genuine idea, just to theory craft it out. I'm going to pitch an idea that D have almost certainly pitched and so far must therefore have rejected. So let's see if we can figure out why they rejected it. And it's going to be something obvious, but let's start. Here's the pitch idea. Very simple. Do away with the requirement to do any star chart progression to do quests. Craziest idea, put it right the way out there. This is rock the boat so far it's capsized level idea. Take all the quests of the main storyline and decouple them entirely from the star chart. What happens then? So the whole, you start off with Vor's Prize and Sire's Vigil, you could just start it, it drops you into Cetus and does the thing and unlocks a node in the process. And then, as I'll say, this is probably pitch and reject is more thought than most people go into these subjects with. I mean, I try to be a little bit more thoughtful than the average person you seem to argue with on other Discords on, I have noticed. Or had, I can't remember if you had recently, but anyway. They don't want to do that because it means they have to give their quest separate difficulty scaling? Would they? Would they really? If the quests scale up in difficulty, that then says to the player, oh wow, I finally encountered difficulty, I need to upgrade my gear. How am I going to do that? Well, I can go and play the game and find the gear, or I can just spend some platinum and trade it off players. Hey, I have my stuff. But like, if they did that, you could just go quest, until you hit hard lock requirements. Now, there's got to be loads of issues with that. So, what's the issues? Science say, really? No, to be honest, from what I experienced aside from the Jaws precept. Oh, that's in response to difficulty scaling, I guess. Yeah, Jordan's precept is a optional quest, if I recall. It's a sideward quest. And those ones could still have locks on them. Or they should have locks on them. Those kinds of things should really say, hey, no, do this content to unlock it in some way, somehow. As a kind of a test. Much like how, hey, take an obvious example, a long-standing MMO, RuneScape has level requirements on various quests. Just straight up level requirements. You must have 35 firemaking to do this quest. Why? Because something is going to happen in this quest for which you need 35 firemaking. Just to put it out there as an example. What about Uranus for doing the entire quest? The quest of taxing you there? That wouldn't be the first time you get taxi places. I don't see an issue with it temporarily giving you access like that. Or alternatively just shuttling you straight into the junctions. Like, imagine if you didn't have to route to a junction. I get that they have this whole routing thing, and honestly, I like the routes. But I do wonder if the routes through a planet might even slow it down too much, maybe? Maybe? For someone who's trying to get to the quest. Because that's the query here, that's the question. If someone's just enjoying the missions, they're already enjoying the missions. But if they're wanting the quests, they're locked behind these mini challenges, these mini processes. And I'm trying to piece it all together as to how that hurdle can be addressed, and where the hurdle really is to address. And basically I'm trying to do D's job for them, which I don't have to do, but it's the question I'm thinking about at this point in time, so why not? That's what I'm thinking about. Phil saying, I think it would be nice if doing a quest will allow you to go to a lot of locations regardless of star chart progression. I mean, I think quests currently do that in general, mostly. I think they do. Probably one major problem I can see is that just pacing. The story has no sense of timescale if you power through them back to back. I mean, we already have that. We have that as an issue just in general, and yeah, that is a problem. This one I've talked about is most pronounced of all things with the new war. For anyone who is a veteran of this game, you might not have noticed it. If you experience Scarlet Spear and Orphix Venom, there is a very, very good chance you didn't notice just how quick the new war happens. stupidly quick. One question, do you have a build for the 60i member boss solo? Not one to offer you that's a legitimate one, Lyric. I have some Ultra Cheese, but I don't want to share it. Because I've shared it before now, but it is ridiculously broken. I think it's, frankly, bug territory, so we'll skip on that. Here's the thing. The new war happens too quickly. If you really think about it, it actually happens far too quickly. Here, Uranus, you get access to the sentient storyline. Ooh, there are some sentients. They're doing some weird, strange things. Ooh, what's this Natar thing? And then you continue on. You get the second dream. I'm a Tenno. Holy shit. Wow, this is a thing. And then Pluto doesn't appear to unlock a quest directly there. I don't know if one pops up that's not showing there, but whatever. And then you go to Sedna, and you're on the War Within. And now you've discovered the whole operator stepping out of the Warframe thing, because you've done the War Within. And from there, I'm going to bring up the wiki on this. Because honestly, following the whole quest line through in-game stuff is hard at this point. Which quest is that? So yeah, you complete the War Within. That then leads you on to the... Let me see here. Chains of Harrow. Which is kind of curious, but it introduces the idea of the Man in the Wall, so that's important. So you go War Within, Man in the Wall through Chains of Harrow. There's a little prologue to the Apostasy prologue. It's just a throwaway thing, really, in the middle of the quests. Then you get the Sacrifice, giving you lore about Ballas and Warframes more thoroughly. Prelude to War, and then it's the new war. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. You get New War, Chains of Harrow, which introduces Man in the Wall, Sacrifice, which introduces Ballas and the whole creation of Warframes. Bosses where Lotus leaves? True, there's that point as well. My bad. And then you get the new war. That's it. That's basically it. Then you get the new war. It lets you skip over the Roper list. Yeah, Roper list is not even a requirement for the new war. This mission here, never even have to touch it. You can get yourself a Railjack, or you can skip it entirely by purchasing a Platinum. You will have done the Heart of Deimos, so at least you'll have had that introduction of sorts. But yeah, that's what you need to get to the new war. And the new war quest in itself is the entire war. 100% of it. The war starts and ends in the new war quest. That's it. Now, not only that, but as a result of that, I don't think there's any intrinsic requirements for the new war quest. Let me just see here. Requirements. Own a Railjack, own a Necromech, own an Amp, compute and completed Prelude to War. So yeah, no. There is no intrinsic requirement. And because there's no intrinsic requirement, you'll have never been required to do this mission right here. Orphix. And if you've never faced the Orphix, then you've never had that aspect of the war. Because that's the thing. For those of us who were veterans of this game, at least for a few years veterancy, you'll have experienced Scarlet Spear and Orphix Venom, if you stuck around during that time. So you will have had this hovering, lingering feeling of the sentients are building, they're going to deal with us, there's this whole Lotus problem we're going to have to deal with, and then boom, there's Scarlet Spear. It's like, oh my god, they're attacking us from the skies and dropping them in on Earth, but at least we have some way to fight against them. We have our Railjacks. And then the next thing rolls around. Oh my god, they've got these Orphix. They're shutting down our Warframes entirely, but we've got these Necromechs. At least we can still somehow fight against them. This give and take and push and pull of building up a war. If you join the game after that, such as one of the moderators on this channel, Silancy did, if you joined after that, you get none of that war. That war doesn't exist. There is no Orphix Venom. There is no Scarlet Spear. There is no dozens of Tenno getting together in relays to try and defend against a sentient incursion. You meet some sentients. 2 months? Did you start after it as well, Tom? I didn't realize you started after All Things Venom as well. Well, there we are then. 2 mods on the channel. My apologies. Gargoyle is your first operation? God damn. Wow. So, you begin to see some sentience. You discover who you are. You become the operator proper. You get a railjack. You go to war. Sorry, you get a railjack. You lose your mum. You get a really angry, self-alive Warframe, which doesn't really become much of a thing ever again. Then you go to war. A war which you don't even need the paracesis for and don't need Umbra for. Am I suggesting a significant time lock between the quests? I'm saying that of all the missions we have to go through from Earth all the way up to the Uranus, we go through, what, 40, 50 missions to get to this point here of beginning the sentient storyline, and then another couple dozen missions to continue beyond that point. We go through all of that, and at no point is the new war ever actually happening. We go through all of that, and then the war starts and ends. And that's it. That, I'd say, is probably the biggest issue in it all. Now, because of the way the storyline is handled with Uranus, you can't really bring in sentience sooner. Because they're supposed to be mysterious from here. I don't know if you could bring in the whole operator quest line any sooner. I don't know if Railjack could be brought in sooner. I don't know on that. Maybe? But the whole very early game, as I've shown, is not any kind of gear check. Railjack is? Right side is earlier? Okay, how much earlier? You're just saying it's earlier without referencing where I'm saying where it is. I'm asking how much earlier it could be made, not how much earlier it is. Let's see, Rising Tide, when is introduced? What are requirements? Requirement, complete the second dream. What the fuck are you drinking to say it's early? What the fuck are you drinking, McKeefus? I'm gonna directly address you there. You just get saying 2 words, Railjack is, Riding Tide is earlier? Yeah, no, it ain't, mate. It ain't. Just say, I feel like the new war is weird progression-wise because you have to progress a lot in pre-new war content to unlock it, and pass it as its own quest, makes it feels like a progression wall. Yeah. You thought it was before? Well, evidently it's not, yeah. You started before All Things Venom. I have to be away whilst was away from the game, missed it in Scarlet Spear. Yeah, and a lot of people have had that experience as well. So there will be people who are like, oh wow, the sentients are a thing, and they come back and this war just kind of happened without them. Do I have a top 10 melee weapons? Honestly, the best way to find out the top melee weapons, at least from my consideration, is to go to my profile, go to my melee equipment, and sort by usage. Glade Prime, Redeemer Prime, Conan Prime, Nikana Prime, Inodem, Praedos. Skip the broken ones, they just come from quests. Stropher, Heat Sword is newbie weapon. Those kind of weapons. Like, that top row plus Stropher minus brokens. There you are. That's like your most powerful weapons you'll get hold of incarnate upgraded ones. By and large, those are really, really solid stuff. And if you need a more specific answer than that, then you wouldn't be asking what's top 10 melees. So that's the answer for you. Racing, one thing that would help is reintroducing all the operations as quests. For example, does anyone know why Darvo and Barrow despise each other? Honestly, I didn't remember that Darvo and Barrow despise each other. Yeah. Lady was saying, Rising Tide should be after Chains of Harrow just for the Reliquary drive. That would fit. Yeah, that would fit. Yeah, I mean, I guess because of the way, especially with Uranus, Uranus is such a lock. It really is a lock on this whole concept. With Uranus, that's where the sentient storyline kicks off. That's where it starts. There is no way to easily remove that lock. If you bring in sentience earlier, then why are they a mystery for this quest? If you try and move the quest earlier, why does it take place on Uranus? If you haven't got to Uranus yet. So Uranus is a massive lock on the whole setup. It really is. I don't think there's much that can be brought before that. Railjack being post Chains of Harrow makes sense. The Operator being post Sentience makes sense. Or post the introduction of them. It has that whole process. It's got a pretty compelling storyline to it. It's just, it starts here. All this earlier stuff, frankly, just needs filling in. Frankly, needs filling in. And if it was filled in, then having to step through missions to get to places wouldn't be anywhere near as necessary, because they can happen on those missions. I think that's about the best they've got. Bring back the older stories, like Ray said, put them into quests, because I've agreed with this in the past. The older events that happened and then went, really should be quests. And those quests fill up this first half of the star chart. These quests have you go through the nodes necessary to get from A to B to C to D, moving through. Don't think anything important happened in Ceres? Did anything important happen in Ceres? Let's see. So go to Ceres, you unlock 4 rewards. You get a Volcar blueprint. Yeah, no. You get no additional quest on unlocking Ceres. You get Stolen Dreams on heading to Phobos. But, yeah, no, Ceres just kind of happens, doesn't it? You get Frost here. I guess you get the Abyssal Zone, which isn't even actually on Ceres. Yeah. Femple say, hey, I just got here, so I missed it. Can I have a quick top 3 melee weapons since I missed the top 10? Just returning to the game, played every day until Siren Prime launched, then quit, came back and got my Railjack, left because it was solo, have my Necro thing, doing the new war right now, no idea what to do after. I mean, continue going through the main quests. Honestly, that's a really good idea for you. And for the time being, use the melees you've got. Once you've completed the quest, The Angels of the Zaraman, you'll be able to get hold of the Inadem and Praedos melee weapons, and those are now your 2 new favourite melee weapons. Swear down. Unless you already have Glade Prime, it might be too expensive to really want to go for that, but it's a very powerful other weapon. Inadem, Praedos, you get them after completing Angels of Zaraman. Super strong pickups. And after that, you've got even more Incarnants to look forward to. So, there's your top 3. Glade Prime if you already have it, otherwise stick with what you got. Inadem, Praedos, you're sorted. You'll be great with those. Zoris is a stand-in for Glaive as well. Yeah, Zoris, actually. So Glaive Prime if you have it, Zoris if you don't. Which you get from the Deadlock Protocol quest. Yeah. Look, say, by the way, I watched your video on the Arkham boss. So good, bro. Keep up the good videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah, I think really that's what it comes down to. The world building from events can be brought back as quests here. And use those quests to complete the critical nodes. A literal critical path directly through the planets. So that rather than to get to Mercury, you have to happen to have done and happen to have done and happen to have done these. And then also get told to do that. Whatever quest takes you through, bap, 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 bap. You go through it and you learn about whatever about the Corpus. Mercury, it has a crossfire on the first mission here, doesn't it? Yeah. I think you... Is that where you encounter a whole infested questline? Once awake? Yeah, you do. Yeah, yeah. Bap, 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 bap. Story, 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 story. Fill the fucking story in here. I think that's the solution. Because by that point then, the whole quest progression is just Do quest, do quest, do quest, do quest, do quest, do quest. There is your Warframe experience. If at any point you don't want to do the next quest or don't have the skill for the next quest, then you branch off into, well, here's all the other missions, here's your replay value. If I had to spec out how you turn Warframe's early game from wait 100 hours it gets good to get right into it now, I think that's the angle I would focus. At every point, just have a quest until you have reached not just the new war, but Whispers in the Wall. Every step of the way, a quest. Using however many nodes it takes, however many bits of information, bringing back the storylines that have been lost. And, for love of God, show, don't tell. Am I wrong on this, chat? What have I missed on that? Most broad advice everyone gives to do X to get to quest faster. I mean, yeah, just doing quests is, honestly, for anyone who's stuck in Warframe, if you haven't done every single main story quest to get to completing Whispers in the Wall, go and do those. Number 1, number 2, number 3 option right there. Fifth, I'm saying they'll probably hook more story-focused players way more. I mean, even non-story-focused players, it would still hook, because it's guiding you which mission specifically to do next. A critical path. And if you decide to get distracted on these other pathways, go and have fun. But if not, critical path. And I know that the critical path is a thing that DE think about, because they changed Sedna. Does anyone remember that this mission here used to be Disruption? And this mission here used to be Survival. Kappa and Kelpie got swapped. Sorry, not Survival, Spy. This used to be Spy, this used to be Disruption. At least by the point that Disruption was introduced to the game proper. They swapped it because this is the critical path, and this was too difficult for players at that level. Which is understandable because Disruption is overtuned for its level. Because level doesn't have a meaning in this game. Volgamera is saying they should provide the storyline in book form separate from gameplay. No. And I feel like you're being facetious there, mate. They have different names too? No, they just swapped the mission type. That was Kappa and it was Spy. That was Kelpie and it was Disruption. And then they just swapped with the mission type. Hey, just got the Incarnate later in a video. The second evolution was broken. Has your opinion changed after fixing? My opinion hasn't changed of it. It's still an extremely powerful weapon. You can still use it brilliantly. Oh wait, the second evolution, not the Incarnate in general. Sorry, my mind skipped to the detail there. The second evolution. Latron. Evolution. Hold on, let me increased direct damage per se type affecting a target. That hasn't been fixed, to my knowledge. No. That wasn't fixed, was it? I don't think it was. It's still ignoring the +6, which granted isn't that much of the damage overall, if I recall. But this is just superior. Non-story players love the Tenno Guide button to launch the next important mission. Story players should as well, because it keeps you on guide. Yeah. Donnell said, I'd love to see the critical path have even a certain color node or something. I'm a total noob, I just do all nodes unless the quest takes you to a specific one. See, this is why I say do the quest, Donnell. Because once you've run out of quests, well, you should be looking for the next quest to get to. And it will then tell you, well, how do you get to that quest? And then that's your critical path. And again, that's why if there are more quests added in of the older events here, in the first half of the star chart, the very early game, then at no point would you have to think, what node should I do next? It pushes you through it, unless you choose to go explore elsewhere. It shows, hey, you know how you're going through here? Well, there is this Everest node if you wanted to give that a try. And of course, this goes back to an earlier point I made as to, well, why would you want to do Everest? Well, you could click onto it and then click the icon at the bottom side of it, like I've shown here, if there was an icon to click that said, hey, here's the rewards you could get. Specifically for Excavator 1, tab across, 2, tab across, 3, tab across, 4 excavators. Bada bing, bada boom. Information in game. Hooks. Damn it. Hooks. Yeah. HSA, hated disruption, missions for the longest time. Part of the reason was being forced to go through them, such as Sedna. I get it. I get it, yeah. At the time, it was switched out. I was like, wow, is it really that much of a difficulty spike that people are really struggling? But no, it really is a difficulty spike. It really is. Jane popping through saying, hey, saw your stuff on YouTube, thought to drop in, say hi here, also hi chat and Happy New Year's. Well, Happy New Year's to you as well. Welcome on in. Thanks for dropping by, and I hope you enjoy the channel here as much as you have on YouTube. Although that said, we are actually a little bit shy on time. This is probably a good time to remind everyone that if you haven't yet grabbed a ticket for the raffle, !ticket in the chat for a chance to win it. And we're doing that draw very shortly now. So that's a chance for anyone here to win 75 platinum on whatever platform you're on. Oh. I know that's going to be a slew of tickets now, so the chat is going to be mostly unreadable for a moment. To me, we're saying it reminds me of giving new players early access to Simulacrum, allow them to change stuff and apply form and rank mods freely without cost tested builds. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think new players need access to a Simulacrum. It's something you get access to not too far into the game overall, but when you are damn new to the game, the last place I would want a new player to go is a just generalized testing environment. It's far better to just go into the next mission, especially as I just showed. Well, just showed, it was a bit a while ago now, but as I showed during the stream, I completed a mission on Ceres with basically unmodded gear. I was using the unmodded Sun and Moon, which by that point you would have been able to build from Duviri at least. This I don't think I even used, and I had an unmodded Bratton. And the only mod on Vault here was a 2-bit Vitality. That is beyond terrible. Resell, say, I want to say thank you for the build video for Nezha. It got me to retry him. He's my go-to for Archon hunts. Thank you. You know what, Resell? I'm going to appreciate your thanks on that. I am actually surprised that someone has managed to watch that video and enjoy it enough to come here. I will be quite honest with you. I am genuinely surprised because that is an older video of mine. There's a lot that's changed in the game since then, and there's been a lot that's changed on my channel, how I present videos since then. I recently added the community captions provided, I think that was by Malasitos, to that video. And it hurt me going through it and telling the difference between that video and what I currently put out. So, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the video. Past me certainly is very happy about that. Today me is more surprised than anything that you'll actually hear. Not gonna lie. So if you enjoyed that video, definitely check out my newer stuff. But seriously, yeah. Early 2021 videos. I think that was an early 21. For me, the quality difference between today and then is just wow. Like, people actually watched those ones? Yikes. That's cringe for me. Let's see, Nezha, when did I put out that video? That was, oh god, that wasn't even 2021. That was November 2020. Shit. That's the first year of putting out videos. And I started off doing one a month. So that's an early Kengineer video right there. My god, wow. Yeah, I'm, again, really surprised you're here. Can you see a Latron build? You can see my Latron build over on my Latron guide, Flame Painter. You'll get more detail than I can give you here on stream right now from that video. Seriously, definitely check that one out. That one is a modern video. That's worth watching. Slancy, thank you for linking these videos as we mentioned. Appreciate that as well, dude. Kyo saying, I like the meme around Nezha more, but Nezha is good anyway. No, Nezha's a really strong frame, honestly. He's really good. A lot of people sleep on just how powerful Nezha is. I'd say Rhino does end up being more powerful overall, but Nezha still gets a hell of a lot done. And yeah, if you just subsume on Raw, then it's just a better Rhino at that point, yeah. Near enough just a better Rhino. Ladybug say, I remember watching that one and then feeling sad you didn't do many Warframe specific guides. Otherwise, because, oh, finally I understood. Yeah. Oh, was it you who did the captions on that one? No, it was Malatitos. God, you had me for a second there. You had me. Oh, I thought I credited the wrong person. No. What's the and? Oh, it's just some crappy Agvasto that I've not used for anything. The reason it's called and Official Nova is because I am an absolute sellout. And so in a couple videos, if you pay careful attention, you might just notice, if I'm not talking about a weapon, that you might see these three. There's only a few videos it's in, but I think it's in 3 of them now. Maybe 4. Where it says like and subscribe in the arsenal. And very few people even notice it in the first place. It's the most pointless thing I've possibly added in as an Easter egg, but there are a few silly Easter eggs in videos here or there like that. It's there in a few places. That's why it's called and. I'm glad I at least find it, because otherwise it's cringe. Why Tetra, Agvasto, and Zor? I chose those 3 because I was basically never going to use those weapons. Never. So this is a just a random Zor. It is an Equana 10JAI Pei Alpha, which is... No, you don't need that. That is not the combo you need. So that's my subscribe. The and is just the Agvasto, which, as you can see by usage, is somehow above the Zymos and Plinks, but not by much. And the like, again, somehow sees more, but I think I've just happened to have it equipped in a few places. It's just a Tetra. Also, I love that when I go into equipping, it calls it like, but when I come out, it reminds itself it's actually the Tetra. I was also saying, why the hell was the first thing you did for Pride Month was reinstall Warframe? Maybe that's why you found me. Hey, who knows? Maybe, yeah, you loaded up Warframe on Twitch and you went, eeny, meeny, miny, LGBTQ? Hey, there's the guy I want to watch. If I'm going to watch Warframe, I want gay Warframe. If that's how you ended up here, Zom, cheers to you. Sure, why not? Surprised I spent the plat instead of building kit guns? I already had the kit guns. So... it was easier just to spend the plat. It was easier just to spend the plat. How do you change the weapon's name? For any primary and secondary, you can take them to the kit gun vendors. So that is Rudzud over in Fortuna or to Father over in Deimos. And they can rename those. For melees, you'd need to go to Hawk in Cetus and he'll rename them for you. That's how. Favorite primer? Epitaph. Straight up. You want gay Warframe every day? I mean, I might have the wrong Revenant here. No, there it is. I mean, we do still have Revenant Pride, who is also apparently really glitching out at the moment. What is going on there? My god, that ass apparently has some wind to it today. That is concerning. You forgot about Revenant Pride, did you, Ladybug? Oh dear. It's even got the special snowflake ephemera. Yep. This one is, it certainly exists, doesn't it? It certainly exists. Oh dear, okay. Anyway, yep, that's a thing. Oh, Ladybug, do we really do that to people after we've had the Revenant Pride? I don't think we do that. That's, fine. I suppose there is an emote for it. And this is Fairy Grendel. The most obnoxious looking fashion in my entire setup. It is truly obnoxious in just how ugly it is, quite frankly. Yeah. Hard to watch? Yeah, and the whole split. Whee! Fairy Grendel. Float like a butterfly, bat like a bee. Is how the saying now goes. Yeah. And then there's some frames which look perfectly normal, you know. There are some perfectly normal looking frames that we don't have to worry about them whatsoever. It's just perfectly normal looking Warframe, this one. Absolutely no weird story behind this one whatsoever. This is a perfectly normal fashion, which you could see running around anywhere. It's the Voltamelon. The Voltamelon, because it looks kind of like it's made of watermelon. And as for the ephemera, this lovely white substance coming off of it, that's mayonnaise. Because this is the Whack-A-Melon Voltamelon. Whack, an old regular of the channel, who frequently was caught not doing much in Among Us because they were eating watermelon or mayonnaise or both. Watermelon and mayonnaise, Whack. I still don't really process that combination. So we got the Whack-A-Melon. We got the Whack-A-Melon. And this is why I don't do fashion. Yeah, Rogue, that was about our reaction as well. That was about our reaction as well. I don't recommend it to anyone. If you try it and you throw up, that is not my fault. I merely mentioned a thing. I have not recommended it. I have not endorsed it. My fashion is law? Yeah. You see, my fashion, much like Warframe, is as a result of events that happened in the past, and if you didn't experience them, then you have no idea any of that lore exists. And this is why we should add Whack-A-Melon as a quest on Earth, so that when people join Warframe, they immediately get a proper understanding as to the war crimes we Tenno commit. There you are. That's how we're going to wrap this one up. I think it's about time we do the Platinum giveaway. I really think it's about time we get to that, because we have gone so off topic. It's about to get stupid otherwise. Whack is the new Earth boss? I mean, it would be fitting. It would be fitting. If you've not yet grabbed yourself a ticket to enter the giveaway, make sure you do that now. !! ticket in the chat. Doesn't matter whether you're on PC, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, or cross-save, because that's technically kind of PC account as well now. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, anyone can enter for a chance to win it. I'll give you all just a minute left on that. Ken, you need to do a chemistry breakdown to why mayo and watermelon? Nope. There is no why on that. It's whack. Whack is whack. It's in the name. You should be able to figure it out from there. Their literal username is whack. There's no coming back from the sensibilities of that. Which Warframe holds the records for war crimes per second? None of them. No, wait, no. Kalervo. Kalervo holds the record for war crimes per second. And the reason why is because he's the only one who got tried and imprisoned. Everyone else, it was just war hobbies. So there you are. JC, I mean, I went off topic about S-Fly and Corpus days ago on stream. It happens. You can feel your stomach gurgle with terribleness of Mayor Melon. Enjoy. Just don't eat it mayonnaisely. That would be bad. That would be bad. The only real crime for Kalervo is his red crits. Oh, he's got some good ones, hasn't he? He's got some beautiful ones on that side. Anyway. If you don't get caught, it's not a crime. In the Warframe universe, I guess, yeah. I mean, you know. Alan V still gets to live. That's a crime. Alright, I think that is about enough time on the giveaway. If you've not claimed a ticket at this point, you just didn't give a damn. So I'm going to close that up there now, and let's see. Let's see. Who's going to be the winner today of the Platinum giveaway? It's going to be the one, the only, Benji876. Benji876, congratulations, you are the winner. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of the stream. Get a hold of your Warframe username and platform, and we'll be getting that Platinum as sent on over to you. So, Benji, if you're listening right now... Oh, there you are, Benji. Going, oh, wow. I always love the kind of The variety of reactions we can get. Because some people will just be like, oh wow. Wow, I won. And I was like, oh, no way, oh my god. It's such a variety of reactions from people sometimes. Benji is in the oh wow category. Benji, let me just send you a quick little whisper there. Hello. Smiley face. Benji, if you just respond to that, please, with your Warframe username and platform, we'll be able to get this sent on over to you. That one would, in fact, I believe that should be sent. I'll have to double check on when. It's done by DE, so they do it kind of in batches. I'll send you full details once you replied. Thread ruler, is that Lavos? Yep, this is Lavos. Just came back to Warframe, about to start grinding for him. Mate, that is exactly what I want to hear right there. Anyone who's a regular on this channel knows what I've just heard there is absolute gold. Someone comes back to Warframe and the first thing they do is go, you know what? I want Lavos. That's a person destined for greatness right there. That's a smart player right there. Ain't no mistake about it. You're going to go far. Also, my Necromites are going far. I wonder how much needs fixing around here with all the bullet jumping I do. Anyway. Right, that is that. We're going to have to see about raiding on over now to another part of the Warframe community. Let's see, who can we raid to today? That is the question. Who is live? Whose day do we want to make just that little bit better? I'm just going to have a quick look at the Warframe category and see who we're dropping in on. In fact, I know who we're dropping in on, just looking at it like right now. Because I don't imagine they're going to be stopping in the next 5 seconds. So if they do, I'd be disappointed in them. Let me just check and make sure nothing untoward is happening here. Yeah, we'll just go in. It'll be fine. We are going to be raiding over to Your Lucky Clover. Now, part of the reason we're raiding over to Your Lucky Clover right now is that Clover is going to be joining us on stream on Friday, chat. Oh, yes, indeed. I'm not going to just be on my own on stream here on Friday. We've got Your Lucky Clover, we've got Kodoma, we've got Brozai, we've got No Sympathy as well. 5 Warframe creators in one stream altogether. You do not want to be missing that out on Friday. But we're running over to Clover now. She's an absolutely wonderful creator. I'm sure you'll enjoy all the chaos over there. That's all from me today. I'll see you on Friday. In the meantime, have a very good end to your week. I'll catch you then. Bye-bye.